Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny final expense insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Start your engines for the Central Florida International Auto Show November 14th to the 17th at the Orange County Convention Center with hundreds of new and unique vehicles. Buy tickets now and save $2 per ticket at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Racetrack coffee is bean to cup. The fresh ground taste is gonna pick you up. Different choices with lots of flavor.
Yeah, that tracks. Customize your blend, creamers, and toppings to make your coffee a guaranteed hit.
You're making your cup the way you know it should. Racetrack coffee, it's crazy good.
Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives southern weather, and our Energy Star windows and doors are designed to keep the heat out and the cool air in. Get New South proud.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all New South products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Looking for the best donuts and breakfast treats in town? Then you got to go check out Shipley's Donuts. With more than 60 varieties to choose from, Shipley's Donuts serves freshly made delights daily. Visit them today at 2225 South Cimarron Boulevard. This year Full of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassy's Meat Market, the best place to buy a Big Green Egg.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go into a Wednesday edition of The Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that every single day. We really do. You have a lot of choices out there. Thanks for picking us. We do have a big program for you. Today we'll get you caught up on what's happening out there. Deb will do that with woke news. 4 o'clock hour, Stacked Animal House. The Central Florida Zoo is dropping by. Any friends today?
Yes, we do have friends. Let me check my email.
Okay, very good. Also, a special edition of Primetime Kitchen. Fayez can't make it on Friday. Tomorrow's bad for us, so he'll be dropping in today for Primetime Kitchen. 5 o'clock, David Jolly joins us. Local comic blowing up, part of the Kill Tony group. He'll be joining us today at 5 o'clock. He's headlining the big event coming up with Mo DeWitt. Trivia today, win them before you can buy them. Kathleen Madigan tickets for Hard Rock Live next year. We'll end it up, you heard it here first. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. Oh, and by the way, Ross Padgett in the 6 o'clock hour. I totally forgot to write that down.
What?
I know,
What
dude.
about this Maxwell dude?
I know, he's gone. This guy completely and has checked out completely. Welcome to the show. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack is here as well.
Good afternoon.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Find us easily on social. Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, it's easy, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. Go to YouTube and check us out there and give us a like and subscribe while you enjoy that free entertainment. And I use the word entertainment lightly.
You're so lucky.
How are you guys doing today?
Crazy.
Crazy. Why is it so crazy? I know that Suds, Pups, and Pints is wrapping up, or not wrapping up, ramping up.
Yes, sir.
And you got our T-shirts today. Let me tell you, dude, they look amazeballs. They look incredible. The logo is so good. And if you hop onto the YouTube channel right now, Deb will have a preview of it. She's holding it up. Again, that's youtube.com. Just search for The Jim Colbert Show or go to JimColbertLive.com and look at that, man. That is such a cool-ass logo.
Isn't that a cool logo?
It is really cool. We'll have these for sale at the event coming up in September.
September 21st.
That's right, September 21st, downtown Mount Dora. It's going to be a good-ass time. We have a lot of information to tell you about that as we approach that. Very good job.
Yeah, thank you. Any help with silent auction items, though, hit us up.
Yeah.
And big shout out to Clausman Law, our title sponsor,
Yes.
Glenn Clausman.
And Guinness, who is our official beer of Suds, Pups, and Pints.
Nice.
They're going to be bringing a 9-hole mini golf course.
I thought you said they were going to be bringing some Guinness by the studio today.
I haven't cleared that with Brian, but let me get on the horn.
Yeah. Let's do
Come
that.
on, Brian.
Some good creamy Guinness.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled with a reel where they pump it, and it's room temp.
And we're going to have a big Guinness inflatable pint on site.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Are you ready for a shock?
I am ready for a shock.
I don't think I've ever had Guinness.
No, really?
What?
Yeah, I got to
Really?
tell you, buddy, that's not that big of a shock.
It's not.
It's a very intimidating beer for people, and it really gets a terrible rap.
Yeah.
Because it is a good beer. But there are a lot of iterations of Guinness. You know, when you go over there and get it, from the factory, people will say that it's way different than what you get in the cans.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, Daryl Payne from Pawfection Dog Training said that just happened to him on their recent trip to Ireland.
Matter of fact, that's where I heard it.
Yeah.
Where he
He's a
said
good
that-
source.
A great source.
And it was right here in our studio.
Yeah. And I've heard that before. I think Russ even said that. He went over to Ireland years ago and said that I think that the Guinness was way different there. I didn't never know him to be a Guinness lover to begin with, more of a light beer kind of guy as it is. But we love stouts. I like Guinness. Guinness is a good beer, so I'm glad to have him on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legendary maker, one of the oldest in the world. So.
And if you go to realradio.fm, Jack already has the webpage up for Suds, Pups, and Pints with all the pertinent information, as well as the a picture of the 9-hole mini golf course.
Oh, yeah.
A direct link is realradio.fm/dogwash.
Oh, yeah.
Because
man.
after all, this is a charity dog wash.
It
sure is.
That's what it is. We're here to raise money for this charity and Lake County.
The Humane Society of Lake County.
God, why do I always get it mixed up? Because we have so many Lake County shelters that come in.
I know.
The Humane Society of Lake
Humane
County.
Society of Lake County.
Yeah, so
No
thank
kill
you, yes.
shelter over there in Umatilla.
Yeah, absolutely. Love those guys. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We all when you live in a certain county, you pay attention to the crime that's in that county, right, Jack? Of course, you live up in Seminole. I lived in Seminole. When something happens in Seminole County, you pay extra attention to it.
Absolutely. That's usually at the top of your list of concerns.
Right. And I mean, here recently, well, I'm going to tell you, Jack lives in the Winter Springs area. I will not isolate it. And there have been some. I mean, you've had.
Hey, wait a minute.
Everything from biker gang shootouts to
Time out.
The murder, not the murder, but the kidnapping in the broad daylight of that car.
Oh, yeah.
That happened.
I was recently told by the former sheriff of the county that Winter Springs is the second safest city in the entire county. And by recently, I meant within the past 10 to 15 years he told me that.
I was going to say, 'cause that dude hasn't been in office for a minute now. Well, of course, I reside out in the Lake County area these days. After my
Well, what happened? Wait, you were just in Seminole.
After my 17th move.
He decided he didn't. It wasn't crazy enough.
Have you seen
in
this?
Geneva?
Did you see this story though?
Which one?
you know that Ace Hardware that's right there on 441?
Yeah.
Good. Because police say that Joshua Reffitt, 41, and Roy Perot, 23, they face charges of grand theft, Deb. Grand theft from a company like Tools Ace Hardware. By the way, you know, Tools Ace Hardware, we endorse Tools Ace Hardware.
Right.
But there are a number of families that will own franchises of Ace Hardware. This happens to be, I believe, a Carter's Ace Hardware. You know, and they own
What did they do? That is one of my favorite stores.
Right, they own like 9 of them, right? So this happens. These 2 men were arrested after a burglary, Deb, at a Eustis Hardware store. They perpetrated this with the help of a lawnmower tractor.
This has got Lake County written all over it.
This should be on the flag.
This should. I think they're working on it right now.
Lake County should have its own currency, and one of these idiots should be on one side of the dumbass dollar bill, and the other idiot should be on the other side of the dumbass dollar bill.
Can we make him king and queen of Knucklehead Island?
Would you like to know how they caught him?
How'd they catch him, Jim?
They followed the muddy tire tracks right to the homeless encampment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They pulled up there, stole 2 pressure washers, a generator with a propane converter, and absconded on a lawnmower tractor. Grand speed, or total speed, 9 miles an hour.
Wow, that's cranking it.
And loud at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, as a rule, people do not mow their lawns at 3 in the morning. So anytime you hear a lawnmower going at 3 a.m., something's usually awry.
That might attract a little attention.
Yeah. And they actually even, because they caught it on camera, they stopped for a pee break.
Oh.
You know, because meth really gets you in the old bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was actually in that store today. Dropping off a couple power tools to be repaired. And sure enough, I said, and when I mentioned the lawnmower tractor, the lady who is a Lake County resident forever just rolled her eyes. Never even started a conversation as if to say, yep, Tuesday in Lake County. Yeah, they drove off the tractor, towing a full trailer of stolen goods. Then I guess another suspect went in. Of course, they busted them easily. They were a local homeless camp.
Oh, you mean they weren't the salutatorian and valedictorian of their local high school?
They were not, believe it or not.
Damn.
I know that's
I'm so surprised.
Shaka. But yeah, they got him there, and boy, do they look methy. You know, there is certainly a methy look, right? It's like when all your teeth are out and your face is scrunched down and you have those thin-ass lips.
Oh, you've got those crank bug marks from thinking there's insects falling.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's Oh, yeah, that's a good one there.
Yeah.
And then here's the other guy. He did not get to a brush in time. So good job, Lake County guys.
Have you ever seen hair that looks like a saw palmetto?
Man, that's great. I've never. You know what? I got to tell you, I'm thankful that I've never been that desperate. I've never been that desperate in my life.
Yeah.
Where I thought I could take a riding lawnmower and steal, a few $1,000s worth of gear from these guys, and that's like grand theft, right? Anything over $500 is grand theft.
I don't know the amount, but I think that would qualify.
Yeah, I think grand theft is $500 or more. And I think that's like a minimum year in jail.
Yeah.
I don't know if you go to prison for that. I don't know if it's a felony.
But from the looks of that second guy, at least he's going to get a shower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may be a jail shower, but...
And those come with a little extra stuff.
Soap on a rope, right? That's standard issue?
Yeah, this comes with...
Under Florida law, grand theft is an intentional and unlawful taking of property valued at
$500.
$750.
Really? Inflation.
$750. Yeah.
It's getting everything.
Crime inflation. Yeah. So they're definitely qualified for that because they stole almost, I think, a little over $3,000 worth of stuff.
You know, and if they're going to stand on the side of the street and, you know, relieve themselves, they could have cleaned the tires.
Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking about today, and I know that we have a lot of former military people who live in the area and listen to the show. You know, we always talk about foreign military bases that we have in other countries, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have foreign bases in Europe.
South Korea.
Japan. Name a foreign base on our soil of another country. Why doesn't that happen? Why? I mean, it seems logical enough to where you could just go, oh, it's because of this. But I rattled this around my head all morning, and I couldn't figure out, why don't...
We are the superpower. We are the one who provides help. We are the one who knocks.
Yeah, I got that.
Walter White.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like Japan isn't worthy of, isn't a very powerful, rich country. It's not like Australia isn't. It's not like all of Europe aren't powerful NATO countries, but we don't have bases for them. Now, what we do have is this. I know there are a number of our bases that have a joint kind of relationship with other bases where you'll have certain troops that are specialists or certain equipment that they have provided, because I know that my daughter was at Hurlburt Field up in the Panhandle, and they had soldiers or airmen from other areas of the world that were allies of ours.
Yeah, because we also have Saudi pilots, if you remember, who are training up at in Pensacola.
Yeah.
But it is
we're the big dog.
I know, but it's weird that we're the only ones. I understand that theory because I thought of that as well. I was like, well, we're the one doing the thing. Yeah. But it would seem like you would also want some of those allied bases on our soil, the ones that we really have the deep relationships with, so that they can provide resources easier or quicker to us. But I don't guess it really works that way, does it?
It doesn't.
Yeah. That's wild, though. Isn't it weird that we have these bases all over the world and like, they have a presence here, but not like a facility like we had there?
I wonder if it has something to do with treaties and how, those kinds of international agreements are set up.
Yeah. I don't know. It was wild. I was watching this morning. I was like, I don't ever talk about, or nobody ever mentions. I don't even think of it in Canada. Like, they don't even think they have one in Canada. Like, nowhere in North America is there a foreign base for another country.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
Yeah,
Do we really?
Florida.
Do we really? Got to check that military budget. We got to keep it going, buddy. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Deb, got some news for us?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, the school year is already off to a tragic start. We have 4 dead, dozens injured at a Georgia school shooting. Closer to home, a whistleblower has been fired for leaking the state parks development plan. And, breakfast will never be the same. Get ready for Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon.
No way.
We'll tell you about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. All right, 407-916-1041. You can always text our show at 77031. Back with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Got an iPhone? Sweet. Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
Traffic is slowing down on some of the major roadways and bridges. Just travel with caution. Some of those roadways might be wet out there. The right turn lane is blocked due to an accident on Maitland Boulevard eastbound at Bear Lake Road. There's slowdowns at the intersection where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway and slowdowns on Orange Avenue near Lancaster Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Sharp stomach pain? Advice is here. Consult a nurse. Answers, advice around the clock. Consult a nurse. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
Well, those 2 crackheads didn't steal all the grills, that's for sure, because Tools Ace Hardware has the grills you could possibly want. Matter of fact, you can get up to $300 off a brand new Traeger grill. Get that wood-fired flavor you love when you cook for the family. Or maybe, just maybe, you like a propane grill. Well, you can get up to $150 off a grill from Napoleon. That is a professional grill cooking series. It is unbelievable. Tools Ace also carries grills and pizza ovens from Big Green Egg, Weber, Rectech, Gosney, and Uni. And when you buy a grill from Tools Ace, you get free assembly and free local delivery on grill purchases $3.99 and up. It's Tools Ace, 13 convenient locations right here in Central Florida, or you can just shop online. Do it at acehardware.com. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
The Hartford Small Business Insurance knows opening a small business is a great achievement. They offer custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at thehartford.com/smallbusiness.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny final expense insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
The Central Florida International Auto Show is back. November 14th through 17th, the Orange County Convention Center will be filled with hundreds of new vehicles. Get your tickets now and save $2 per ticket at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
I'm Charles. I got a bad back injury when a truck crashed into my car. You know those lawyer ads. All they talk about are themselves and money, money, money. I wanted the best doctors for my back. I called attorney Glenn Clausman. He got me to really good doctors, and I'm doing great. Glenn was always available to talk to. He got me a great settlement and quicker than I thought possible. Car crash? Call Clausman at 407-917-1718. KLAUSMAN law.com.
Office, Winter Park.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Wake up with football every morning and listen to my new podcast, NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal. 5 days a week, you get all the latest news, the best analysis delivered by the time you get your coffee. This show hits on every single game, every single week, but I can't do it alone, so I'm bringing in all the big guns from NFL Media. Subscribe today, and you'll immediately be smarter and funnier than your friends. Listen to NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Daily to start listening.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
So apparently Facebook is still a thing. Search gym members and join our group.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Leave us a talk back. That's easy. Get the iHeartRadio app. Go to Real Radio once you get it and use that microphone to send your comment over to Jack. We'll get you on there in no time for sure. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack is right over there, and Deb has your news.
And now, it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
And as always, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. Give him a listen Saturday when he's host of the Home Loans Radio Show. All right, 4 people have died and dozens injured after an active shooter event at a Georgia high school. Attorney General Merrick Garland spoke about the shooting.
Who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. The Justice Department stands ready to provide any resources or support that the Winder community needs in the days ahead.
It unfolded just as classes got underway at Appalachia High School. This is about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta. The Barrow County Sheriff says one person has been taken into custody. No word on a motive. President Biden has been updated on the situation, and the FBI is assisting with the investigation. Governor Brian Kemp says he's directed all available state resources to respond to the incident. All right, closer to home, the whistleblower who claims he leaked the plans for proposed changes at state parks says he's been fired. James Gaddis says he was terminated from his job as a cartographer at the Florida Department of Environmental Protection on Saturday after getting back to his townhouse. Saw a little letter there on his welcome mat. Yeah. According to a GoFundMe page set up by Gaddis, he says he was fired for leaking a, quote, secret fast-track plan, end quote, to build golf courses, hotels, disc golf courses, and pickleball courts within critical habitats across 9 state parks. Gaddis adds the, quote, atrocious proposals, end quote, were not going to be released until the day before the scheduled meetings on them. If you guys remember, there were 9 near simultaneous public meetings that were set for August 28th. We would have gotten that plan like maybe the 27th, and everybody had to rush to those public meetings on the 28th for it to be considered, having.
And from what I read, they're going to run them back to back to back to back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it would be very difficult to get in and pose any argument, right? Any opposition at all. Yeah.
Now, Governor Ron DeSantis announced last week the state is backing off of the so-called Great Outdoors Initiative for now. And on that line, that's why Hillsborough County leaders are considering a plan to protect their state parks. Of course, after the Great Outdoors Initiative came out, a lot of lawmakers from across the state were like, whoa. Yeah, no, not here. Not in our backyard.
Yeah. Not with this kind of blowback.
Right, exactly. The proposal faced a lot of backlash, meant it was boost recreation and tourism in the state. But at today's meeting, county commissioners over in Hillsborough County are expected to vote on whether to send a letter asking the state to exclude Hillsborough River State Park from its future plans.
I saw a meme today. It said, I asked AI to draw me a Florida State Park, and it did not have a golf course or a frisbee or a pickleball court. Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't?
No. It looked just like a painting of a Florida scene.
Really?
Yeah, exactly
Old
like that.
Florida scene?
Oh, yeah, just like that.
Well, the head of a Broward County museum is angry with the state tourism agency. Visit Florida recently took down a page on its website designed to attract LGBTQ tourists. Robert Keston is executive director at the Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library in Fort Lauderdale, and he says, listen, the LGBTQ Museum on East Sunrise Boulevard pays Visit Florida a fee for promotion, and now he wants that money back.
Wow.
Well, if you're charging them to promote
for
them,
sure, yeah.
but you took the page down and you're
Right.
not promoting them,
Right, exactly.
I think that equals getting your money
You gotta
back.
get your money back for sure.
You know,
Yeah, and
so-
they didn't tell anybody,
No,
right?
they
just
did not.
They just silently took it down.
They quietly took it down and have let everybody quietly find out about it on their own. So Keston says he also wants an apology and the page reinstated. He tells Local 10 News there's no reason to discredit a group of people that drive a tremendous amount of tourist dollars into the state. And even if you do disagree with it, don't charge them.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, give the money back. Bad weather is getting in the way of SpaceX's plans this week. The company has moved today's launch from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station to tomorrow afternoon, and that's because of unfavorable conditions in the Atlantic Ocean, where the booster is supposed to come down. The plan is to send another batch of nearly 24 Starlink internet satellites into low Earth orbit. The new target liftoff time is scheduled for around noon on Thursday.
Did they? Okay, can I ask you a quick question? So, did they just make all of these satellites and they were in a warehouse and they just go and unload how many they need and then load them up? Or are they sending these as they're produced?
That's a very good question, and I know we have someone who works at SpaceX. Maybe they can tell us.
But that's, I mean, do they have? Did they have a warehouse of 5,000 satellites and they're
Like
just
an Amazon thing?
waiting for the rocket space to let it rip?
I would say probably not that many. I think they've been making them on the fly.
Yeah, kind of like the candy scene in I Love Lucy, where Lucy couldn't
Just coming
keep
out
up
of the
with
conveyor
all the
belt.
candy
Right.
coming off the conveyor belt. I don't know. I would think that they would make them as they're going to be sending them, but
Yeah, they're
now
all
I
the s-
can't get the Amazon warehouse out of my
Right.
head.
I think they're all the same. Like, I mean, when it comes to design, I don't think there's one specific thing that they have to change for the other. I mean, it's
Then
just
again, what do we know?
Yeah, you
Right,
don't.
exactly.
Who knows
don't
what
know.
this cat's doing up there?
That's a good
And
point.
aren't they? They're about the size of a washing machine or like a microwave or something, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I remember. It's like a little cube, and then they have to pack them up, and so that when they're released, they
You got to see the train of them going overhead. That's freaky. All right. Meanwhile, NASA's Steve Stitch says they're moving forward with the return of the Starliner spacecraft from the International Space Station this week.
Currently, we're targeting this Friday, September the 6th, 6:04 Eastern undock and a landing at the White Sands Space Harbor just after midnight at around 12:04 Eastern. That would be early, technically Saturday, September the 7th.
And that White Sands, that's there in New Mexico. The spacecraft carried astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams to the ISS from Cape Canaveral back in early June, but it won't have astronauts on board when it returns to Earth because of malfunctions on the capsule that are still being studied. Butch and Sonny will return to Earth early next year in a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule after two of their astronauts had to get bumped from their mission.
Wow, man, that's so crazy.
Now, speaking of the problems that the Starliner continues to have, NASA says stereo feedback is what caused a, quote, strange noise,
Yeah,
end
sure it
quote,
was.
to be heard on the Boeing Starliner spacecraft over the weekend. Yeah, on Saturday, astronaut Butch Wilmore on the International Space Station radioed Mission Control in Houston. You guys happen to hear that sound?
I'm scared.
About a sonar-like sound that could be heard coming from the troubled Starliner. Ding. In a statement to the website NASA Spaceflight, NASA said the noise, quote, has no technical impact to the crew, Starliner, or station operations, end quote.
Don't feel bad. That's just the self-destruct alarm.
Silence, you ninny.
That's the thing. It's about the blow. It's like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds
Danger,
it's,
Will
It's like my
Robinson.
Roomba. That thing is telling you it's about to separate itself and just go on home. That's what it's going to do. And it's going to scare the hell out of you because it's going to happen at 2 a.m.
Right.
You're not going to know. You're going to be sitting in your underwear playing poker, watching something, and that thing is going to turn on, and you're going to jump to the ceiling.
You know what? But maybe if they made it sound like a Roomba, it wouldn't be
Yeah,
so
right.
disconcerting.
And when they translated, it said,
You're wasting our time, Earth creature.
We'll see you in February.
Yeah, exactly. All right. The family of a Virginia man who died after eating boar's head deli meat has filed the first lawsuit against the company here in Florida. According to the lawsuit, 88-year-old Gunter Morgenstein died from a listeria infection last month. The family of the German-born Holocaust survivor says his death was linked to liverwurst produced by the company at its Jarrett, Virginia plant. Now, the lawsuit was filed in Sarasota, but that's where the company's headquarters are located. The CDC says at least 9 people have died due to a listeria outbreak tied to boar's head deli products, specifically coming out of that Jarrett, Virginia plant where it made the rounds last week, and it was one of those stories that you went, yeah, I just don't see this adding to anybody's day because it was nasty what they found.
Anytime you have to use the word meat splatter
or spray meat
in your story, and your walls of your factory are covered with meat spray and mold and puddles of blood. That is bad news.
69 violations in 1 year,
and they'd been warned before.
Yes, they had.
I had this pulled to talk about on Friday when I missed last week, but that whole thing of falling from grace. I mean, we've just seen the tip of this iceberg. Depending on how Boar's Head handles this case, I think is really going to be a direct reflection on how Americans look at this brand moving forward. Everybody will have a hiccup. You could have those things corporately, but when it looks like you were taking advantage of your brand's integrity and you were selling that, and the whole time behind the scenes you really didn't care that much, that doesn't really play well with a lot of Americans.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially
that's a very good example.
And I've said this before on the air, and I don't have anything against Boar's Head or the people who sell it, so you can just relax. But I think Dietz and Watson is a superior product anyway.
Well, I just think that what makes it egregious is, like you said, Jimmy, they were selling on the fact that they are considered the premier deli meat. So when you get them on your sandwiches or when you order a half pound,
or you pay $2 upcharge,
and you realize you're paying more, there's a reason why you're paying more. But finding this out makes you go, damn, why have I been paying more?
Yeah. They make a damn good pickle, though.
Orlando leaders are putting one of their plans aimed at reducing homelessness on hold after facing backlash. The city council discussed a $7.5 million project yesterday that would have created a 24/7 shelter for up to 250 people in the Westfield neighborhood. Residents spoke out against the development, though, saying they want to use that space used for something that's going to improve the local economy and create jobs.
Yeah.
No final decision has been made. The original goal was to enter into a short-term lease for the property by next September. Of course, as cities continue to grapple with the homeless issue, October 1st, there's no more sleeping outside. Cities are pressed to come up with a solution. This is interesting. The Orlando Police Department is being urged to do more to help the mentally ill. A grand jury report was released yesterday in response to a deadly police shooting last year. Officers shot and killed a woman who was armed, drunk, suicidal, and allegedly threatened them. The report cleared the officers of wrongdoing, but it also recommends hiring more mental health professionals and having officers bring one of them when responding to certain situations to let them de-escalate it and hopefully keep it from having to do deadly force.
And I kind of thought that was a program they were going to institute a couple years ago, right? They were going to train some people and then bring them out, or even send them in lieu of sending an officer.
And this is different because this is saying officers bring them with you instead of having that team respond on their own.
I think that's the better move, because when you show up, and you're a crisis counselor kind of thing, and you're 5'3", and your crisis subject is 6'10" with a NAX, you're going to need somebody with you to kind of talk, just keep yourself safe.
Yeah, and for officers as well, getting into a situation where, get some help. So a witness, this is a crazy story, is credited with stopping a woman from being kidnapped in Orlando in the middle of the day outside of a Walmart.
From a repeat offender.
Police say Juan Perez threatened a woman with a knife Monday outside the Walmart at South Goldenrod Road and Marketplace Drive. The 54-year-old allegedly stole a woman's purse and then tried to force her into the trunk of her car.
Oh, my.
But thankfully, a witness came to her aid. Now, police arrested Perez yesterday. He's charged with armed robbery with a deadly weapon and attempted kidnapping. And Jimmy is correct. Police say Perez is already on federal probation for kidnapping in another case and was wearing his ankle monitor when he got arrested in this case yesterday.
Good job, justice system. You're doing a fine job out there. He did this in broad effing daylight, in the parking lot of a grocery store.
Yeah.
With a knife. Tried to shove her into a trunk, wide open, clearly viewable on the cameras.
Trunk of her own car.
Unbelievable.
He had a knife and chose not to cut off his ankle bracelet.
No suspicion, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, this next story is interesting just because we've heard of at least 3 cases around the country of young boys dying during football practice or on the field after taking a particularly hard hit. Well, there's a debate in Flagler County over a proposal meant to ensure athlete safety. So the school board is considering requiring student athletes to take an electrocardiogram screening. Yeah, something making ECGs a requirement will protect more athletes, but others are worried a mandate would violate privacy. A vote could come at the end of the next meeting in 2 weeks. School Board Vice Chair Christy Chong tells News 6 she hopes everyone will be able to meet in the middle and agree on something, because they say a lot of times these are just undiagnosed problems that sometimes a hard hit on the football field will end up exposing too late.
Yeah, that is an interesting argument about that, because that would be like if you give them that test for something and it reveals something else.
Right. Then
that
what?
would be a HIPAA violation at that point, I guess, because you would have medical information on somebody that they didn't really ask for you to have. That's such a weird.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, in the context of trying to make someone's life better, you have to be careful that you don't reveal anything about them.
Exactly.
To save their life. I mean, I guess you can make that argument. It just seems so asinine.
Well, for those who know of someone who is what they call neurodivergent, which is another term for those who are on the autism spectrum, researchers at the University of Virginia say they've come up with a test to diagnose the genetic markers of autism in brain images with 89 to 95% accuracy.
At what stage in life?
They didn't say.
Okay.
Genetic markers. Now, pediatric neurologist Dr. Abigail Lay at Nicholas's Children's Hospital in Miami says this means doctors may soon be able to classify and treat autism without having to rely on behavioral cues.
I think that there's better awareness overall of autism spectrum disorder. So in particular with people who may not have as many of the severe symptoms are now being identified.
Yeah, the information could also result in earlier interventions. Autism is typically a clinical behavioral diagnosis that's based on social, communication, and engagement deficits. So your child used to smile at you when you walked in the room, and now they couldn't care less that you were there.
Right.
They started speaking, and then they just stopped.
Right, yeah.
So that's usually how it's diagnosed. So if they could get to these folks earlier and get them into those therapies even earlier, that could make a big difference.
Somebody just texted in, going back to your last story, and said that Seminole County already has that EKG thing.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I think anything to protect our young athletes, because those stories of, 11-year-old going out to play football and takes a hit in the chest.
That's right. Did you ever see the when they did the preseason this year, did you see any of the helmets?
Yeah.
The helmets had that they were like that thick foam
on
the top of them.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that that isn't far away from professional football, having a foam type larger helmet like that would stop that hard helmet to hard helmet kind of impact. I don't know though. I remember them making a comment during a couple of those games
that they look goofy.
Well, it does look a little goofy, but I mean, you understand why.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think about it being
Still
dangerous
your noggin.
at that level. Imagine, it being dangerous at the best athletes that we have to offer on the planet or in our country, running at you full speed,
right?
Or at each other full speed.
And they've already been doing that for 20 years.
Exactly.
Don't know if you guys have heard, but the wreckage of the Titanic is showing new signs of major deterioration.
Yeah.
In July, researchers went down to view the famed ship at the bottom of the North Atlantic, and they found a portion of the railing that was made iconic by the 1997 movie Titanic had fallen off the ship's bow. Where I'm flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fallen off. RMS Titanic Inc. said, quote, although Titanic's collapse is inevitable, this evidence strengthens our mission to preserve and document what we can before it is too late, end quote. The researchers spent 20 days taking more than 2 million photos. The expedition of undersea specialists was the first since last year's Titan submersible tragically killed 5 people. They also were able to find that the Diana of Versailles, a statue that they thought had been lost, it hadn't been seen since the 80s. They saw it laying on the ocean floor and were like, okay, well, at least we can still see some artifacts.
Right.
But the ship is, it's being lost to organisms in water in time.
Are they blaming Kate Winslet for leaning against the railing?
That's so funny. I remember seeing a story. I just checked it while you were reading that. In 20 years, there expect to be very little signs of the ship at all. That there's a bacteria down there that
eats the rust.
That eats that rust, and it's basically eating the ship away.
Yeah.
And then the next 10 to 20 years, there may be very little signs it was ever there.
Hell, if you want to see something really scary, read about Saturn's rings that are supposed to disappear in 6 months.
No way.
Yes, sir. Finally, Hormel has teamed up with General Mills to create a bacon that you just didn't know you needed. Tastes like breakfast cereal, y'all. The meat company announced this week that Cinnamon Toast Crunch Bacon. will go on sale starting September 16th. The product is going to combine the cinnamon coating from Cinnamon Toast Crunch with Hormel's Black Label Bacon.
That's a good bacon, by the way.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon will be available at select Walmart and Kroger stores.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. You know, I used to buy
sweet and savory.
Yeah, I used to buy blackened bacon, and they would basically cure it with those blackened spice things. It was damn good. It stunk your entire house up for a month though. It was terrible. But with this, you would think that maybe you cook your bacon and just sprinkle it with some cinnamon and sugar. It's the same thing.
I would guess so.
Yeah, who knows?
But now you can get it from Hormel, and they'll all do sprinkling for you.
There you go.
And now you all are officially woke.
Do you eat that before you start Wegovy or after?
That's what you sprinkle Wegovy on.
Exactly.
And that's
there
how
you go.
you eat it, actually.
I just want to live in a town when a Wegovy parade comes through.
They look so fun, don't they?
Yeah. No matter what you're doing in life,
Hey,
they're going to come walking by.
And it doesn't suck, but what's even more miraculous, like for me, when you hear all throughout the years, you know, doing this for a living and having advertisers come through and like, we got the next miracle pill, right? There's always some drawback.
Right.
When Olestra came through, you started pooping alien. It was this orange, oily oil.
Easy, fella.
There's always this weird backlash, but with these things, it doesn't seem like
It just keeps getting better.
It's better. It's like, hey, Wegovy, and I'm like, oh, finally, ha ha ha. Oh, it helps heart disease, and
Yeah.
like it's unbelievable, like a miracle drug.
Don't
Right.
let the stomach paralysis stop
Right,
you.
exactly.
Yeah. But you got to walk in the parade. If they come marching
do.
down your street, you got to join them.
That's right. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
The new Real Music Weekends begin this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. For today, we'll top out around 91 degrees with afternoon thunderstorms becoming likely. There's a 70% chance for rain, and it looks like the highest chance for rain will be between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. After that, after the evening commute, most of the action will be west of Orlando, where it'll persist through the evening over on the Tampa Bay side. For tomorrow, we do it all over again, our persistent pattern continuing through this weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Early Learning Coalition of Osceola County.
Want to give your child a learning experience that's free, fun, and gets them ready for the future? The voluntary pre-kindergarten program is your answer. It's available at no cost to any 4-year-old child residing in the state of Florida. Visit our website at elcosceola.org. That's elcosceola.org.
Are you ready to upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows and doors? This September, don't miss out on Renewal by Andersen's exclusive sale. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors, plus zero money down, zero payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. You know, their custom-made windows and doors are designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and reduce your energy bills. Plus, you get to choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. Here's what Megan had to say when she left a review on August 8th on Google. This was by far the very best experience I've ever had with a contractor. I can't say enough how impressed I am with the attention to detail, the quality control, and professionalism of Renewal by Andersen of Central Florida. Again, visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
Man, I love my friends over at Mills Air all time, just making sure that your home is nice and cool. They've done it for me. They've done it for Deb's mom, for Jack's family. Jack came home, his house was like 90 degrees. One call to Mills Air. They're out there knocking it out, making sure his family is comfortable that evening. Same thing with Deb's mom. Deb's mom had a company she'd been working with for years. She called them and said, my AC is done. We're like, well, we can get there occasionally or eventually. They're like, no, we can't do that. Got to have it fixed today. Mills Air came through. That's what they do. And they've been doing it for 30 plus years here in Central Florida. Let their tech service your brand. Make sure they know exactly what you need from them. That's what they want, and that's what they want to make sure that you are going to be nice and cool all the time. Not to mention their Carrier factory authorized dealers. That could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today and schedule your appointment. It's 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Senator Rick Scott has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call him at 202-224-3121. Urge him to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing S-1246. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, are you having a good time?
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. iHeartRadio, let's go! Get tickets now at AXS.com.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Want more from us? At The Jim Colbert Show on Instagram. Follow us.
Greetings, Colbert Show.
Greetings.
Yeah, man. Definitely, I think they should do that EKG for all kids participating in any contact sports whatsoever. All my kids had to do sports physicals when they were participating in sports in school. So it's a requirement already. Just add the EKG into it as a part of the physical, and their information still stays private with their doctor and they don't violate any HIPAA laws. So I think they should, man.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Dispatcher from the OPD texting in. We do have mental health units that are not officers. They are trained mental health pros. They currently cannot be sent to subjects that are physically violent or have a weapon. Or maybe a history of that as well. I mean, I would think that would you not want to do that. Send a guy out with a clipboard against a guy with a with a Rambo knife. Yeah, that's the last thing you want. He's stabbing you and can tell what's on the compass while you're yelling. Don't do that.
Maybe if he had a blowgun, like a dart gun, a clipboard could probably help. But you have to be. I mean, you have to be good with it.
Yeah, to be very good with it.
Can you design that for us, Jack?
Which one, the clipboard or the dart gun?
The blow gun. Yeah, that goes on the clipboard.
They used to sell those.
Give the mental health professional.
They used to sell those things at flea markets, like legit, full-blown needle blowguns.
Yeah,
it was a needle about 3 inches long, and at the end of it, it had like a little stopper that you put into the blowgun, and I mean, it would go. I gave one to my son as a joke and took it away from him 4 minutes later. I was like, that was a terrible idea.
We used to keep one at the bar I used to work at.
Did you really?
No way.
Oh,
Did you
man.
ever use it?
We had a guy.
Deb, you can sing a needle 2 inches into somebody. It was no joke.
Yeah, whatever. Did you use it? That's what I want to know.
We had a guy I used to work with. He used to always come with at least 3 weapons every shift that he'd have behind the bar with us. And this bar, especially on quarter beer night, was like 4 feet
madhouse.
by 4 feet tops. It's me and him bouncing back there, and he'd have his whatever gun he had on him. He had a Desert Eagle.
My God, really? Like a 50 cal?
Yeah. Desert Eagle 50 in a case there. And then usually had a bang stick.
That you use on alligators?
That is the greatest.
That's one hardcore.
Bang sticks for point blank idiots.
And then we had like a 3 foot long blow tube, but I think we use it for spitballs more around the.
I got to tell
Life
you,
was rough at Calico Jack's over there in Melbourne.
If you came over the counter with a bang stick or a blowgun, I'm really not liking the blowgun. The bang stick, really, you got to be right on top of me. It's just it's like a small barrel. That blowgun, my son had one, and you could easily, accurately penetrate something for like 25, 30 feet. No problem.
Yeah.
Like, no problem. It would go into a tree.
I see a bang stick and a blowgun, and I'm like, what is it, spring break already?
Yeah, it sounds like my favorite podcast.
He was just waiting for a quarter beer night to get too far out of hand.
I bet.
And those CJs, the ones that one was in Altamont for years. That Calico Jacks, they had that quarter beer night, and you had to wait to get in. Like, I mean, so many dirt bags. So many dirt bags and Iron Maiden cut-off tank tops. I was one of them, I know. So terrible / awesome. And the wings were damn good back in the day, too, but they had good-ass wings, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good-ass wings.
I remember, we used to get the giant case. Matter of fact, I don't think I still have it. The boxes, the cases they used to come in were perfect. They were extra sturdy, right? And they had like a wax coating.
Yeah.
I used to I had them. I used them for my CDs. So when I would DJ back then, you didn't have everything on the disc.
Right.
You had to bring your music with you. So I'd have cases of CDs that I would bring with me.
Super
Hundreds
light
of CDs.
Oh, man. Did you have them in books, or did you have them still in the jewel cases?
I had some books, but I had most in the jewel case.
Oh, my God. That's the weight.
Yeah.
The jewel case.
Yeah.
I found my old CD. God almighty. I was rolling through some stuff in my, because we're still unpacking, really. You get the house and you just slowly.
It takes a while.
Slowly but surely get all that junk you pull out of the crevices of your home when you move. And I found my old 90s CD case, Case Logic, I think it was, right?
Yeah, there you
Logic?
go. Case Logic.
I think mine would hold like 100 CDs.
Ooh, look at you,
my
fancy.
God. Everything from the Black Crowes to Zeppelin to old Ozzy albums.
Now you need to go to Walgreens and get the CD visor holder so you can keep your favorites right there in your truck.
Yeah, then I need to get a CD player. Because who's got one of those anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah. I do not have a CD player in my house. I do not have a CD player. If I wanted to play CD, well, I take that back. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, your son has a gaming system. You could play it on that.
But he gave me a Blu-ray. He gave us a Blu-ray disc player years ago for Christmas, and we've used it just a couple times, but we've never really had a reason to get rid of it. We still have it, so if I had to, I could do that. But, I mean, why? Just go to the iHeartRadio app and dial it up. I mean, seriously.
Because nobody does a mixtape. Ever found an old mixtape?
Oh, my God. Jack does. Jack's got 50 of them.
I do. I have them all.
I bet I have mine, too.
I have everyone.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You have the ones that people made you, or the ones you made
No,
for
the
other
ones
people?
that I made.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the one that my friends made.
Really?
Because I have always said before, I don't have the... Jack is a natural programmer. Anybody who liked making a mixtape, enjoyed listening to the beats, lining the songs up, I'm too lazy for that.
Telling a story?
Yeah, exactly. That's what a music director and a program director. I'm the lazy one who wants to turn it on and just hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do the work for it.
Yeah. I never was a mixtape guy.
No?
I tried it with CDs one time, and that technology whipped my ass.
And it's still whipping it to this day.
I mean, this is it. Insert CD player and push burn. And I push burn. I'm like, it doesn't smell like it's burning. It doesn't smell like anything's happening. So we're just going to go right back to the old cassette tape.
There. Oh.
Supposed to be making a comeback. I don't know why.
Are you serious?
Yeah, cassettes are making a bit of a comeback. Like, people are buying them for nostalgia.
I was going to say,
but
it's because they got that whole 80s thing going.
Where do you play? You have a cassette player at home?
Exactly.
You can find the top cassette players ever made now for like $3.
It's sad and great, I guess, all at the same time.
Yeah.
But I still have it's in my office. It's my, console rack. Nothing's plugged in, but it's got my dual cassette player where I used to dub tapes back and forth.
Look
a
at
CD
you
player,
stud.
a mini disc player.
Oh, man.
Just slap on a turntable and you got yourself a party.
It's
the
wild.
turntable is the only thing I actually have hooked up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, turntables made big comeback, and now, you can spend as much as you want on one of those things. And I guess I just heard the other day that, the certain cassette players and tapes are kind of making a comeback, and some artists are actually re-releasing their information or their music on cassette tapes. I have not seen one yet. I just read that was what's happening.
Well, let me get a number 2 pencil so I can rewind it.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text 77031. Animal House up next. Central Florida Zoo in the house.
Your new Orlando home for Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. Real Radio 104.1. Fire the cannons.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at a slow ride on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound for those traveling between Sand Lake and 535. Heavy traffic also reported eastbound between 1792 and Dirkskin Drive. Looking at accident activity on Boggy Creek Road just north of the Greenway, that's causing heavy backups on both roadways. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Guys, listen up. If you have plans to sell your home for any reason at all, hit pause for a second. Learn a little bit about the Nickley Group before you do that, because these guys are actually changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovate real estate solutions for sellers and buyers. And the news that the market here in Orlando is softening, that is not true. Orlando homes still selling for record prices. So look, man, if you're considering selling your home for any reason, downsizing, relocating, maybe you need a bigger home as your family expands, take a second and contact the Nickley Group. Could save you some money and make you some money. And again, with the rates lower than they've been in a year, this is the time to make your move. But don't forget, everybody's been waiting for the same thing. So get a company that can help you navigate all of that red tape and get you to the home of your dreams. The Nickley Group can do that. Not to mention, they sell homes on average for 6% more, and they sell them twice as fast as well. Get your home valued instantly, get a guaranteed cash offer, or just list your home. Do all of that today at thenickley.com. 3,000 5-star reviews. And if you're longing for that next level real estate experience, mortgage services, moving assistance, elite marketing, this is the team you want to be in business with. It's thenickley.com. That's NICKLEY group.com.
It's time to gather the family, including the dog, and join the Jim Colbert Show for the 2nd annual Suds, Pups, and Pints, a celebrity dog wash brought to you by Clausman Law. Join us at Sunset Park Saturday, September 21st in Mount Dora. Yeah, this event may be for dogs, but we have something for everyone with plenty of family fun and live entertainment. A silent auction and a not-so-silent auction may determine which member of the Jim Colbert Show gets to wash your dog. Plus, Pawfection Dog Training will be there to answer our dog-related questions. This unique and free family-friendly event is from 3 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, September 21st. Get more info at realradio.fm/dogwash and see you at Sunset Park in Mount Dora.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays, too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Senator Rick Scott has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call him at 202-224-3121. Urge him to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing S 1246. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
New South Window Solutions. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Radio now comes with moving pictures. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Colbert Show. Hey, where did the term raining cats and dogs come from? I'm looking outside and I don't see any cats or dogs. But seriously, where did that come from?
No idea. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Yes.
We do have a flood advisory in effect for Orange and Seminole counties, thinking of you in that Thornton Park, Wadeview, Delaney Park areas. So if you had to deal with some serious flooding last weekend, keep an eye on the storms today.
You got it. All right, welcome back. I am Jim. Jack is right over there, and Deb has Animal House.
She likes them fuzzy, furry, feathery, tough, and scaly. It's time for Animal House with Deborah Roberts.
Animal House is generously brought to you each and every week by personal injury attorney Glenn Klausman, our premier sponsor for Suds, Pups, and Pints. We're going to tell you how you can get in touch with Glenn at the end of Animal House, but now please join me in bringing back team lead zoo teacher Jamie Ling, as well as ambassador animal keeper Nathan Jordan from the Central Florida Zoo.
Yeah!
Hey guys. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. Who's the animal friend that you brought with you today?
So we have Gordito. He is a marine toad or a cane toad, a couple different names floating around the community.
And he is, as Jimmy, what did you call him? A hoss?
Oh, yeah, he's a hoss. Yeah. You have to have a saddle to ride that frog. Now, I'm not saying, I said frog. I know it's a toad. Now, before we even get started with any other stuff, what's the difference right off rip? A frog and a toad.
Well, toads are lumpy bumpy, I guess, and frogs are going to be smooth. That's a pretty good indication.
Really?
It's not, there's exceptions, but
Really?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Now, is this the same cane toad that you've heard that hops around in South Florida sugar cane fields and can be very dangerous if your dog happens to find one in the yard and decides to lick it?
Yeah, this is the exact same one. It's fully grown. He does have those kind of like poison sacs behind his eyes, those glands.
That's what those big bulges are?
So usually when a dog licking it, that's a huge deal, but it's usually when they bite down, it starts excreting the poison and the chemicals and the toxins, and that's usually when the animals start having issues.
Okay, and this is something that, again, had been a South Florida problem, but has slowly started to creep and make its way here to Central Florida, right?
Yeah, as things get warmer, a lot of southern animals are moving a little bit farther north. Max temperatures, these guys can survive, 100 plus degrees, and the coldest is looking at mid 50s. So as long as it stays above that, they usually are being okay. Once you get kind of dipping below that, then you start having some issues with them.
And what are the issues? That's kind of interesting. What happens to them when it gets down to like 48 degrees?
Same thing as iguana and stuff like that.
They're just going to shut down?
Start shutting down. They're going to bury themselves. They're going to try to stay as warm as possible. These guys, throughout the day, they're going to bury themselves to stay nice and moist and damp. And then at night, they usually are a little bit more active looking for bugs and grubs and stuff.
Okay, so they're going to come out at night type of toad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big question, native or is that an invasive species or an introduced species?
invasive, and they were purposefully introduced.
Why were they introduced purposefully?
So they were supposed to do a job. They were supposed to take care of an insect that was eating the sugarcane, and that's where they get their name from. So with the sugarcanes, those beetles were eating them up, and the sugarcane, or the cane toad, was supposed to eat those beetles. And then unfortunately, they ended up eating way more than the beetles. And so for invasive animals, they're supposed to be non-natives that do destructive things to their environment.
So kind of like the Burmese python.
Yeah.
You know,
Are they considered a scourge in that area to farmers, the way that like hogs are to farmers in Florida and Texas?
I don't think it's like as extreme as like a hog infestation, but they are very bad for like the local ecosystem. Like they're eating pretty much all the local insects, all the pollinators, small mammals, things like that. So they're pretty much out-competing all the native wildlife in that area.
Hold up, dude. You said small mammals.
Yeah, I mean, he comes across like a small mouse, like sugar gliders.
A sugar glider? Can you hold that hoss up so we can see just how big he is?
I mean, this thing is the size of a softball.
And he's a male, and you said he's small?
Yeah, I mean, for a male, he's fully grown, but
Sorry, I didn't want to. Sorry, Gordito. I didn't mean to insult you, dude.
It's in the name.
I mean, it is in the name.
Average size.
He's average.
But in comparison to his better half, the females are like 2 or 3 times their size. Like, I wish I knew his weight off the top of my head so I can give you a comparison weight-wise.
Right.
But he's probably say like 100 grams, while our female's close to like 300 plus grams.
Whoa, man. So that's like a couple pounds, right? Like the females can get to a couple pounds?
I mean, at most, like if you find like a really, really big one, you're probably pushing a good probably pound and a half or something like that.
I see.
But
So it's just because of the body style. I mean, they're massive. I mean, they're big, but there's not a lot
She's
to
big
their
boned,
makeup.
Jimmy.
Is that what
She's
it is?
big boned. Stop
She
it.
doesn't work out. Some leg presses, girl. So what's their mating habit? I mean, obviously, is this one of those situations where, I mean, obviously the male is smaller, the female is bigger. Is there a thing with that when it comes to mating?
You trying to get the visual?
Yeah, I need this for tonight.
well, I mean, like a lot of especially amphibian species, usually the male's going to be on the back of the female, do his job, and then separate. And then the female, I mean, fortunately for her, she doesn't have to worry about the babies because she will lay a strand of eggs anywhere between like 8,000 to 2,400 eggs. Or
So
24,000 eggs.
it's weird. It sounded like you said 800 to 2,400 eggs.
No. I said 8,000.
8,000. So how many of those make it to? I mean, that obviously only a small percentage of those make it, right?
It's hard to say. I was trying to figure out the exact numbers before coming here because it was a very interesting fact because Yeah, you laying that many, probably 10% might survive that long.
But
the things leading for them though is like even as tadpoles, they are very toxic. They are very disgusting. So the things that would try eating them would probably get sick and die, or just spit them up shortly after as well.
So they don't have a natural predator then.
No, not in Florida, no.
And that's the concern. So, wait.
I mean, so they
Jamie's like,
technically
"Wait a minute."
don't. They don't technically have a natural predator because they're not from here. But we do have our opossums here, and they are actually immune to the bufotoxin, so they can actually eat the cane toads.
Do they?
Interesting. I don't know how often they might be doing it. We do have like snakes that can feed on them. Some, I think, are red-shouldered hawks.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought the snakes would, because of course, I mean, I just thought the snakes would be able to like destroy them. Like that would be the thing. Like a snake would just find one, and eat it with no problem.
It depends on the toxin, right?
It depends on the toxin, depends on the species. I know a lot.
Here comes the critter cam. Let's show this big.
I know
gorgeous toad.
A lot of the local like king snakes and stuff like that are immune to a lot of like native toxins, so that might be very, very, very beneficial. But like a corn snake, something like that might be too strong for them.
Nathan, is there any way for you to lift that lead and pull that rock back? Because we're getting a little bit of a glare. And I think the most important question I want to know is for pet owners, for dog owners. So we know that these guys are going to come out more at night. Do you have to live by a retention pond, or you just need to, if your dog is sniffing around at something and chomping at it, what do? Is it emergency vet?
Yeah, definitely take to a vet. I can't really give medical advice or anything, but definitely like wash the mouth out, try and get as much of any toxins out of the mouth.
And that, again, I mean, it looks like it's a small toad, but
that thing looks like Godzilla. I mean, I'm looking at it right now on the feed. And that thing looks pissed off, and it looks
you've
like
been calling him fat.
And I want it to jump toward Jack so bad.
No, Jack doesn't.
I mean,
want it
I wanted to jump toward Jack so bad. That thing looks like it's ready to roll.
Now, again, think that when you look at that image, remember the female is 2 to 3 times his size. So pretty big toads that you're going to see.
And he's the size of my fist. I mean, he's the size of a grown man's fist. That's that one right there.
If you see them out in the wild, is there anything that you or other conservation organizations would like folks to do? Do they call and report it? Do you want them to eradicate them?
Is this a kill on sight thing?
No.
Well, most importantly is to tell the difference between native toads and this guy too. So you're not just going out killing random toads.
Notice how she looked you right in the eye. Right in the eye, Jenny. Right in the eye.
That is one way to control their populations, but you can definitely call them in.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know, because when you see them and you're trying to keep your pets away from them, so the next question is, do you just sick Jimmy on them?
I have a kind of a serious question. I'm being dead honest, right?
Uh-huh.
So, could fishermen use these as bait for large fish? I mean, these are questions no one's going to ask you, so I've got to prepare you for this.
I honestly don't know. I'm like, you could try it maybe, but like I said, they're known as marine toads, known as cane toads. They're not really found on waterways too much.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, you could try it, see what happens. Are you going to get something? Who knows? I mean, I also don't encourage like just going out and grabbing one of these. As Jamie was saying, you want to make sure you know what species you're having in your area.
Exactly, because if you do get that toxin on your hands and you don't, wash it off correctly enough, you could end up causing any of your mucous membranes. You could end up making a real problem for yourself.
What is the gestation period for them? Like after they,
the eggs hatch within like 48 hours to 2 weeks at most.
Damn, really?
Somebody said, "Lick it, Jimmy. You get crazy high from those things."
And
do it, Jimmy.
How long do they say pregnant? How many times can they get pregnant and have a? Do you call them what is it? Is it called a litter? What's it called when they give birth?
I think it's I would call it like a cluster almost.
A cluster, yeah.
It's just a giant mass of like a mucus and eggs pretty much by the time they're done. Yeah,
breakfast.
So delicious.
Yeah, keep talking. Amazing. Anything other interesting about these things that we're not asking that you think is kind of fascinating as a zookeeper and someone who studies this?
Well, I know that like, you were just kind of joking about like the licking thing. That's always like one thing people always talk about. Like, oh, you should lick the toes. Do you lick the toes? Like, no, don't do it. It doesn't really do anything for you. If worst case scenario is going to get you sick, it's going to get you like sent to the hospital, stuff like that. So.
Man, you don't want to be the one who has to come back said, "I licked a toad."
It's so funny. He's smiling while saying that.
I know.
As if he's had to explain to somebody while holding one. Like, dude, don't lick that toad. Dude, put the toad down. Don't lick the toad. I mean, it feels like a friend of yours has had this conversation with you with one of those things in his hand.
The questions you get in this field. That's all I can say.
I can imagine. We've asked a few of them.
How did you guys guys, or how long have you guys housed a cane toad, and what do you use this to teach? I mean, because it doesn't really seem to have any redeeming qualities. I mean, I don't mean to be...
But that's the teaching thing, is to let people know an invasive species, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll pass the education side over to Jamie, but we've had cane toads. I've been in the zoo for about, at least Central Florida, for about 3.5 years. We've always had a cane toad. Gorditos, he's actually one of our newer animals in our area. So he's only been with us for less than like half a year, if that. So we're still getting to know him. He's still getting to know us, kind of like personalities and all that fun jazz. But
did you swipe left or swipe right?
But education-wise, I know, Jamie, you guys use him for a bunch of different programs.
Yeah, one program is the Florida Native one, and because he's not native, it's great to kind of introduce him to kids, and they get to know somebody who's not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Do they freak out about the size? Do you guys have a female over there as well? So
yes.
they freak out at size, right? Because you don't usually see frogs or toads that big. Like out in Florida, when it rains, you'll see a couple skipping across the lawn, but they don't look like that. You can't feel them skipping across the lawn. This son Mitch here, you can feel when he's coming towards you.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he is, man.
Exactly. The water starts moving in the cup, you know? Exactly.
And I don't know that you know this. I'll ask and put you on the spot. How do these rank around, like, the bigger toads in the world? Or is this in that world, or are there toads that are way, way bigger than this?
I know the Pac-Man frogs come into mind, because those guys can get pretty big as well. Unfortunately, amphibians aren't my specialty, so I don't have the list of world's biggest toes off top of my head.
I know that there's a giant bullfrog that's in this native this country.
They can get huge.
Yeah, they can get pretty big as well, right? Well, very nice, man. We appreciate you guys coming by. Pretty amazing stuff here. I love this stuff.
Yeah, thank you for introducing us to Gordito, and tell him no hard feelings.
Yeah.
So please join me in saying thank you again to team lead zoo teacher Jamie Ling and animal ambassador Nathan Jordan. And Gordito. Do not forget that. I'll be posting the Animal House podcast before the end of the day today, so if you missed any of this important information, especially if you're a dog owner, I'll be having that up in the just a few minutes. In the meantime, Animal House is generously brought to you each and every week by Glenn Klausman over at Klausman Law. So if you or someone you work with or love have been in a slip and fall or a motorcycle accident, here's just a couple of reasons why they need to call Glenn. First, he's not going to pass you off to a caseworker. Glenn is going to personally handle your case, so much so that he's going to give you his personal cell phone number and then pick it up when you call. Just a couple of reasons why year after year he's voted super lawyer and legal elite. He's an animal lover, and he's a true friend of the show. So again, if you've been in an accident, give him a call, 407-917-1718, or check him out online at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN law.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. A special edition of Primetime Kitchen next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Yeah, I'm not going to let the lady win.
Really?
Like, I'm going to dominate her on the field and in the bedroom.
Not with that testosterone blood panel.
Not with a 100 in your testosterone.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Delays continue on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound between Sand Lake and 535, and between Parr Street and 436. Looking at accident activity blocking the left lane both east and westbound on Lee Road at Adanson Street. If you see any other traffic problems today, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This hour of Real Radio 104.1, sponsored by FloridaJobsNow.com, coming Wednesday, September 18th.
Steve Kramer here with a divorce tip. Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. OneFirmForLife.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Sarah Silverman, Postmortem Tour.
I have a girlfriend who told me she's switching gears career-wise and is now a life coach. Look, I'm not saying all life coaches are crazy, but I would maybe say that crazy people are life coaches.
January 9th, inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. On sale now at hardrocktampa.com or Ticketmaster.com. Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Funerals are expensive. Do we have enough for ours?
Yeah, I bought Smart Bunny Final Expense Insurance.
Get up to $25,000 coverage for funeral expenses and other needs for as little as $14 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app now for final expense insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11 survivor. For 13 hours, I was buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. I was rescued thanks to brave people who were willing to put their own lives on the line to save mine. For 9/11 this year, a National Day of Service, I'll be paying it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
Have you been to Wassy's Meat Market yet? Wassy's Meat Market has hand-cut, never frozen, quality meats. And they've been right here in Melbourne for over 30 years. Choose choice and prime domestic Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, and A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. Wassy's also has sides, appetizers, pies. Did I mention that everything is homemade, which will make your meal even more special? Stop by Wassy's Meat Market from 9 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4 at 830 North Wickham Road, right there in Melbourne. That's Wassy's Meat Market.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's the Central Florida International Auto Show at the Orange County Convention Center, November 14th through the 17th. Explore new cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Buy tickets now and save $2 per ticket. Get tickets at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
Hey Orlando, get ready for your real estate journey with Nickley's Believe It or Not. Did you know the Nickley Group sells the most homes in Central Florida? They actually sell one every 9.7 hours. The Nickley Group sells homes twice as fast and for 6% more on average. Yeah, that's approximately $25,000 more for your home. Why? Because the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty does real estate differently. Don't believe me? Google them. They have over 3,000 five-star reviews. Get your own dedicated team of local experts and experience the difference. For a guaranteed cash offer on your home today, call the Nickley Group. Visit thenickley.com.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
guys. Time for another Primetime Kitchen here on Real Radio 104.1, featuring our very good friend Fayez Kara from the Orlando Weekly. He is what they call a restaurant critic.
Sounds fancy.
He critiques. That's French. Not sure.
Could be.
This segment brought to you by our good friends over at Tools Ace Hardware. You like cooking outside? I do. It's fall. It's getting there. You want to fire up your grill, Big Green Egg, Napoleon, Traeger. You want to cook it slow and low? Got you covered. Want to cook it fast and hot? Got you covered there as well. Plus pizza ovens, all the great, cool cooking woods, hardwoods, hickory, apple wood, mesquite. They have it all. And they have all the rubs and marinades you want as well. It's Tools Ace Hardware. 13 locations here in Central Florida. Find yours today at acehardware.com. Guys, good and loud for our friend, Mr. Fayez Kara.
He's French.
No, I'm not. He's not. He's God Almighty. No. There are a number of things you are, right? You're like the Epcot. Your DNA test is like a lollipop of like that gobsmacker thing.
Do we know he's not
like
French?
Global fusion.
It's a global
DNA.
Your DNA is a restaurant that you would critique. It is a fusion mess.
Harshly.
Yeah. How are you doing out there, buddy? Everything good?
I'm doing good. Thanks for
accommodating,
doing this Hump Day edition of Prime Time Kitchen. I appreciate it because we're off to Nova Scotia on Friday for a week. So yeah, I wasn't able to do it on Friday. So I did have a trivia question for Captain Jack.
Yo, what do you got?
Yacht Rock staple
Michael McDonald
has the word yacht in it and Nova Scotia.
What's his name? Gordon Lightfoot.
Wrong.
Damn it.
It is You're So Vain by
Carly Simon.
Carly Simon.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
In the yacht and flying to Nova Scotia to see the total eclipse of the sun.
That's right.
Like that.
That's right.
Yeah. I got to tell you, buddy, just a little aside here. I know that you are a big fan of everything Canada. And I just so happen to be in a wormhole of Canadian music right now. Would you like to guess who it is?
Guess who?
Yeah, baby, it's the Guess Who.
Oh, good job.
Hey, listen, man, I got to tell you,
he didn't rush to an answer.
But I have to tell you, man, my friend Brian Adams told me. No, seriously, what happened is I heard this song as it was part of the background music of a video I was watching on social.
She's gone.
Undone.
Undone. There you go.
She's come undone.
Yeah, she's come undone. And I was like, wow, who is that? Then I found out it was the same people who did American Woman. Then you find out they did These Eyes. Then you find out they have like 7 major hits in America, of course, in Canada as well. But I had no idea they had that many great songs. And they were around. That guy, the lead singer, has been around forever.
Burton Cummings.
Yeah, Burton Cummings has been around in a number of bands. And what an unbelievable talent that guy is, right?
Oh yeah. He is a musician extraordinaire. And man, the Guess Who? Yeah, they were one of the best bands to come out of Canada. No question.
They were, buddy. When you listen to the songwriting and the song structures, you're like, wow, man, why haven't I listened to more of this? It is that good.
Jim, my favorite Guess Who song is the live version of Running Back to Saskatoon. Listen to it.
I will. I'll check it out for sure. All right. Fayez Kara appears courtesy of the Orlando Weekly. He is the restaurant critic. He calls us every single week to talk about food and drink in the city. Yes.
Now ask him what Saskatoon is. Jimmy.
That's a place in Canada.
It's French.
That is I'm working on my provinces. Lighten up.
But it's not the capital of Saskatchewan. The capital of Saskatchewan is Regina.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Yeah, you have to say it like that.
Turning off my mic.
Definitely not Regina. It is Regina. Yeah.
Go Rough Riders.
Yeah. Chomping off my tongue. All right, buddy, let's get into it. What you got for this week?
We got a number of closures. We may as well just start off with the bad news because some of these are like some pretty big restaurants. The first of which is Ethos Vegan Kitchen, which has been around for 17 years. They started off in Ivanhoe Village, and then they moved to a larger space on Fairbanks Avenue, just near Park Avenue. It was I think it was the old urban flat space, if you recall, that pizza place. And they were shut down in March for breaking a bunch of health code regulations. I guess they had numerous violations, so they were shut down. And then they just abruptly announced yesterday that they were permanently closed. So if you read any of those the boards on Reddit, the speculation is that it's health code related, but 17 years I've been around for a while and now no more. And then Valkyrie Donuts, which was the egg and dairy free donut shop off by near UCF. It also closed after 7 years, and I believe the operation in St. Pete is still open. But when you look at Valkyrie Donuts, Ethos Vegan Kitchen, and Dajen Eats, which was another vegan operation in Eatonville, that's like three major plant-based businesses that have just shuttered. So what's going on with the vegan community in Orlando? I don't know, but
and this has been going on for a little bit, Fayez. This just didn't happen here. I mean, was it Dixie? Not Dixie. Was it Dixie Dharma?
Yeah, Dixie Dharma. Yeah.
The guy who owns
Dharma.
Didn't the guy who owns that also own a vegan property that had a hard time kind of making ends meet? And then there was another property. It's kind of weird how the plant-based community has kind of not abandoned, but it's like they haven't really supported these brands.
And let's not forget, what was it, the Proper and Wild, and with Jamie and Chelsea Savage a few years ago, like just pre-pandemic, and that whole fiasco. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been a rough few years for for the plant-based community, but I'm sure there'll be others, when these businesses close, I'm sure there'll be others that'll come in. At least that's the hope.
God, I don't know, buddy. I mean, if you were out there and you had a vegan idea and you saw that nobody could seem to make it work, even in pretty darn good spots. I mean, Ethos is location wise, how much better does it get? You're right there near, Winter Park. You're in an area where you would assume people would eat in that fashion, right near Rollins College, man. I mean, if you can't make it there, where can't you make it?
Maybe they just need better business. Maybe they have to attend that Rollins Business School, the Crummer School. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but that's sad news. But in addition to that, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Boxer and Clover, the barbecue place that you and I ate at, they had a 6-month run at East End Market. That was always the plan, to be there for 6 months, and then so they've closed. They are actively looking for about 1,000 square foot space somewhere in Audubon Park or Mills 50 or the Milk District. And moving into that space, into the Boxer and Clover space, will be a concept by James Beard Award nominated restaurateurs Johnny and Jimmy Tung. Now, what that concept is exactly, they're keeping mum, but I'm sure we'll find out in the coming weeks what that'll be. So.
Well, very nice. And you had something else
there's
here.
one more. Chuck Lager.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so Fabio Viviani, he's sort of like this celebrity chef. He was on Top Chef season 5 and season 8, and he's constantly on the Food Network, and I think he has a YouTube TV show, recipe show. Anyway, so he opened Chuck Lager, which was going to be like a global fusion type of restaurant. He opened it up in April, and 5 months later, it's closed.
Right.
So, and that was near Icon Park, near International Drive in that area. So. Yeah, but we're kind of related to that. Like, some good news is that Garp and Fuss, which was off Park Avenue in Winter Park in that hidden courtyard area.
You had to have Harrison Ford help you find it. Yeah. That's what you had to do. Is you had to have a burning torch and a crystal skull to find this place to go eat.
Yes. And so they closed in March, but the good news is that they've come under new ownership and they've reopened. They reopened last week. So it's definitely one of the more fetching spaces, restaurant spaces in the city. It's got the brick, and you can see the courtyard, and the fountains, and it's a beautiful space. So let's they just reopened. I think the menu was somewhat similar to what Garp and Fuss was offering before as well. So if anyone out there has gone in the past few days, do let us know. But they've reopened, so check them out.
That's good. I love to hear that. Tell me about Side Chick.
A side chick.
What is side chick? I mean, I know what side chick is, but what is side chick?
Yeah. So the side chick, the restaurant. So there's a place called Chick-in, CHI-KIN in Mills 50, and they specialize in Korean fried chicken. And they have a new neighbor, appropriately called Side Chick. It's the same owner, Hoi Win. And Side Chick is a K-Mex concept. So that's Korean Mexican. Roy Choi, he's sort of like a big name in the food world. He started the Korean Mexican trend in LA out of his food truck, I don't know, like 15, 16 years ago. And so here they're offering a similar menu. You can get like tacos, burritos, quesadillas, bowls, but with, Korean flavored proteins. You can get like gochugaru chicken. Gochugaru is like a Korean red pepper chili. Pepper.
Oh, like a little bit less potent sriracha, right?
Yeah, but this is the actual powder. So gochujang is like the paste. Yeah, so this is like a Korean chili pepper chicken. They'll have like bulgogi, carne asada, soy garlic carnitas, stuff like that. So and kind of like in related news to that is that same owner, Chickens and Side Chicks owner Hoi Nguyen, is taking over the Mongolian space on Colonial in Mills 50, and he's opening up a barbecue concept called Zo. And Zo is spelled DZO ! And that's sort of like how the Vietnamese say cheers. And he says he's going to be offering the very best aspects of Southeast Asian barbecue, like various skewered meats and Vietnamese lemongrass spare ribs and Laotian sausage, stuff like that. Yeah, and he's planning on opening pretty quickly because it's just going to be an aesthetic redo, and I think he's planning on opening in October. And he's opening up a second Chick-in, the Korean fried chicken place in Windermere, also sometime next month in the former BurgerFi space. So a lot going on for him.
Very nice. Let's get to the review. You're reviewing Helena Modern Riviera this week. Help me out with his name.
So not me specifically, but Michael Murphy, the fine writer who was taking over for me while I'm on my summer sojourn. So he reviewed Helena Modern Riviera. It's a Mediterranean-leaning restaurant, again, near Icon Park, right by the Orlando Eye. It's where Tapatoro used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And, so let's just say that it was not a favorable review, and I jotted down a couple of lines here from the review that I thought.
Because Tapatoro was great, man. That was a good place to go party and have a good cocktail. I mean, I know when Wendy left there, when Wendy Lopez left there to go to the Good Salt group and wound up at Reyes Mezcaleria, it really kind of wasn't the same since then, but what a cool space that was.
It's a cool space. It's a unique space. But so Helena Modern Riviera, offering Mediterranean, loosely put, Mediterranean cuisine. Some of the lines that Michael wrote here were about the paella. He said it was edible but deeply flawed. Another line here, he says, nothing says Riviera like a chicken burger and fries.
Oh, come on. You get a kids menu thing. Get out of here. Give them a break.
Okay, another line here. Mains were a mixed bag, one largely filled with disappointment. and possibly my favorite line is this. We did end with a learning experience. The tableside tiramisu is wholly unnecessary, like a tableside ham sandwich. So, fair warning if you guys do decide to eat at Helena.
I'm sorry, that's pretty funny to me. I don't know. It didn't hit Deb or Jack, but it was funny.
Because I like a good ham sandwich.
Yeah, but I mean, having one made tableside is kind of a funny idea, right? Like back in the day, it would be you're getting crepe Suzette, or you're getting like a really well-made Caesar salad, or maybe even a beef tartare, not a ham sandwich. It's kind of funny.
Okay, I guess you're right.
He climbs up with a big silver serving tray, lifts up a dome, and there's 2 slices of American white. Oh man, that would be super fun.
Miracle Whip.
Oh, yeah.
Craft slices.
All right, so maybe give it a little time to settle in before you visit the Helena Riviera.
I don't know. It's already been open for at least 3-4 months, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think they're already settling. But I did want to mention really quickly, this Friday and every Friday moving forward will be Food Truck Fridays at the Ivanhoe Park Brewing. And they're going to have like 10 food trucks gather. This is just something that was just posted recently. So if you're in Ivanhoe Village in the area this Friday, Friday, check out the Food Truck Fridays at the Ivanhoe Park Brewing parking lot.
Yeah, very nice. Also for Magical Dining, we went to Armando's in Winter Park and had a really cool experience. It was really, that place, by the way, was popping when we went, man. When your restaurant
is always popping.
When your restaurant's so busy, you have to set up tables in the road. That's a good sign. And the food was good, and it was a good experience. Very bustling. If you want a good, really busy, kind of energetic restaurant, Armando's in Winter Park was a good spot for us. We enjoyed it. And the menu, really good choices for Magical, too, by the way.
Oh, good. Good to hear. It's right across the street from Park Avenue Tavern, which, you know, I also reviewed very unfavorably. But I just saw that they recently got a new chef. So, and I think he's worked at the Ravenous Pig and a few of the Disney restaurants. So, I'm hoping that menu turns around.
All right, very good. Are you prepared
for what?
Kidnapping. Are you ready?
Oh God. Again.
Yeah, here we are. Okay, so you're in line buying tickets to see Maggie Rogers.
Who?
And I drive by with a grapple hook and a motorcycle, and I throw it, and I get you by the neck. So I drag you about 4 blocks to an old CVS, and I kick in the door and throw you in, lock the door, and come back around October 4th. And when I go in there, you are a ravaged mess. You weigh 65 pounds. You have soiled yourself multiple times, and you're crying. You're very sad. And I look you in the eye, I headbutt you just to bring you back to life, and I say, take me to Ocoee for something healthy, because September is Aging Healthy Month. So we want to go to Ocoee, Florida.
Oh, geez.
And I want you to find me something healthy to eat in Ocoee, Florida. Fayez, where shall I go?
And maybe even use some of the food to dress your wounds.
So you want to take care of your own body while destroying others. Okay.
Yeah. I'll
He's a Republican.
It was only 5 blocks. Yeah, so I'm a
Hands
Republican.
off, Jim. Hands off my body.
And by the way, I'm probably going to deny your medical coverage.
That's a guarantee.
And since you're brown, probably not getting a job from me either. Just giving you a heads up.
Don't worry, honey. It's the new black.
Oh, and by the way, you're paying your college loan back.
Okay, so Ocoee for something healthy. I'm thinking that once I came to, I'd take that shirt off of you and might try to strangle you a little bit. Before that, I would take you. God, okay, healthy food in Ocoee. Okay, so there's a juice bar smoothie joint, a acai bowl. It's called True. I want to say True Romance, but it's not True Romance. It's True Nature. True Nature. It's spelled TRU. True Nature Juice Bar, I believe, and it's in the same plaza that one spot is in. That burger place.
Oh yeah, the one spot. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's on the other end of the plaza, and they have everything from, like I said, like wellness shots, and I'd probably give you an unwellness shot if I could. Wellness shots.
Just get the bank stick.
Acai bowls and smoothies and pitaya. Have you ever had pitaya bowls? You know what pitaya is? Is dragon fruit.
Oh no, I've never had a
They have
pitaya bowl.
Dragon fruit bowls, yeah, very healthy. Superfood type of stuff. Like with the acai. And if you didn't like any of that, I'd take you to that one spot and
get you a burger,
buy you a salmon burger or a turkey burger. They actually used to have veggie burgers. I think they had a couple of different veggie options there. I'm not sure if they still do, but that's where I'd take you and then strangle you.
All right, well, buddy, we always appreciate it. There he is, Fayez Kara.
Yay!
You can read his stuff every single week in the Orlando Weekly. He does a thing called the Tip Jar. That's really the cool place. It is an entire paragraph of all the information and stuff that's going on in Orlando in the food and drink world, openings, closings, new restaurants, reviews. It's all right there. And, of course, you can find him online as well. Where would I find you online, sir?
You can read all that stuff on my Instagram at It's Fayez Kara, ITSFAIYAZKARA, on Facebook at Fayez Kara, Threads, and all the other places. And OrlandoWeekly.com. Hit the food and drink link, and all the stuff will appear right there.
Hey, but we're real late, but a texter just asked, where's the best grilled cheese that you know of in Orlando?
Oh, there's grilled cheeses.
In Winter Park?
That's the name. I think they have a couple of places, but yeah, it's on Mills, grilled, CHEEZUS. They have a host of different kinds of grilled cheeses.
Very good.
Check them out.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it, buddy. Good seeing you, man. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks for joining us for Primetime Kitchen, brought to you by our friends over at Tools Ace Hardware. Look, guys, when you're dialing in your backyard for those special days, Tools has you covered with the best grills out there, Weber, Traeger, and of course, Big Green Egg. All the accessories you need, all the smoking wood you need, rubs, marinades, everything to make that outdoor experience amazing. You know, those family experiences are extremely special. Make sure you're doing it right with one of these great grills from our friends over at Tools Ace Hardware. With 11 locations in Central Florida, chances are you're right around the corner from your next dream grill. Find yours today at toolsacehardware.com.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Look for a likely chance for afternoon storms today between 2 and 6 p.m. Our highest chance for rain, though, between about 4 and 5. After that, it looks like most of it will work west of Orlando. So if you're heading down to Tampa, it'll be a rainy evening. But for most of us in Orlando, most of the rain will be over before 5. Our high temperature close to 91 degrees. The pattern persisting through the day tomorrow and beyond. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto. Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com. Savings based on discounts can vary. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Senator Rick Scott has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call him at 202-224-3121. Urge him to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing S 1246. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Tax Network USA is A+ rated and has saved over $500 million for their clients. Whether you owe a few thousand or a few million, they can help you.
Call Tax Network USA at 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com. That's 800-728-2000 or visit tnusa.com.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will. When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's KLAUSMAN.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Raining cats and dogs is an old English term. There's a lot of animals, dogs and cats that were roaming around London in like the 1600s. And anytime it rained, it would deliver a dead cat or a dead dog to your front door, hence the term raining cats and dogs. Pretty sad and morbid terminology, but that's where it came from.
Hey guys, happy day. Can we take a moment and talk about how comical the Rick Scott ad is, where it proclaims how much of a proponent of Medicare and Medicaid he is? I think that's kind of funny.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. 5 o'clock hour, we'll have David Jolly in. He's in the building. It'll Kill Tony. If you are in the comedy world at all, this Kill Tony thing is like blowing up. Shane Gillis, part of this whole crew, Mark Norman, Andrew Scholes. And it's just kind of a new wave of comedy is kind of coming out of this Kill Tony thing. They've put it a tour. There was a tour this summer with him, selling out massive complexes. It was pretty cool.
So it's a podcast, or what is it?
It is like a podcast.
I saw him at the
YouTube thing.
Tom Brady roast. I think Tony.
Yeah, right? Tony, right.
Okay.
He did very well because I don't know that a lot of people kind of knew who he was. He actually got in some trouble with Brady as well, from what I understand, because he made a comment about his shoes or something, getting him in divorce, and he tells a story about Brady kind of off mic going, "Hey, dude, I'll whip your ass," because I mean, I don't know if Brady's gonna be whipping anybody's ass, but he's in good ass shape, and Tony's not a big dude.
Yeah.
But still a good show.
That's how you handle a roast.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly it. All right, 407-916-1041. Hey, look, I have something to ask, and I don't know if this is a thing, but I do have a photograph here. If you guys hop onto our feed, JimColbertLive.com, you can get to it through there, or go to YouTube and log on to Jim Colbert Live. You can see us right there, okay? And the reason I ask you to do this is 2 times this weekend I've seen this statement, and I don't know if it's become a thing, and I have to be careful with what I say, but is it like a new thing to say that you eat a? Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah, like look at.
Well, I know what.
Okay, so look at the camera right now, guys, and look what this. This was a guy I was behind. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you had it.
I was behind this guy in traffic, and look what his helmet says. He's a
ride fast,
eat
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ride fast, eat, and then it's a body part that rhymes with the word fast. That is not,
Or glass.
Yeah, and I here's the thing. I could usually say the word, but I can't say it in that context.
Correct.
Right? Because that's an action, and I can't say that. But that's the second person I saw this weekend wearing a shirt or have something that's adorned with this statement. Is that a thing now?
Apparently, it's a crew.
What you were saying, Jack?
No. Well,
Hey, what do you mean by a
Deb
crew?
has information.
Because it was in two different places. But by the way, both motorcycle people. I was at a place in Mount Dora having dinner, and a group of people came up on motorcycles, and one of the guys on the back of his shirt in giant letters said, "I eat A." Just in big old white letters, 40-point letters. And this guy on his motorcycle, on his helmet, in big white letters on the back, it says, "Drive fast, eat A." And I don't know where this is coming from, but within hours, two people I saw just randomly in public had a shirt that said they eat A. And
see, I at first I didn't know if there's another meaning to it. If you're riding, getting close to somebody, or how you ride, if there's a meaning in that. But if on the shirt that you described where it was personalized, saying "I," it seems like, well, there's only one. There's only one explanation for that.
Well, somebody just texted and said Jimmy's about 3 to 4 years late on the whole eating A thing.
Well,
I mean, did this bypass me? Did I stay in my house too long and miss the eating A thing?
Yeah, I remember a guy got pulled over because he had it on the back window of his truck, and a cop tried to arrest him for it, and he's like, "For what? You can't." And so they kind of had that dispute. I believe that was in North Florida.
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago. But I haven't heard or seen it, since then, really.
The texting service knows way more about life than I do, by the way, guys. Way more. It's not motorcycle stuff. It's bedroom stuff. Thanks, Brad. Thank you so much. Said it's not new. It's old. And it's basic white guys are now saying it like something that's cool. But it's actually very old. I never even heard it when it was supposed to be new. I'd never heard anybody saying that. All the kids love doing it in Lake County. Been eating that before I was in school. It says it means eat my dust, that you're behind me. I've never heard that. I've never heard that term and have it used like that. It seems like to me they were just letting people know they're down for that. In case you have one and, and he needs a snack. Apparently, he's open to snack.
Person also texting that we're very late to be aware how popular Kill Tony is. No, we're not.
No, we're not. Yeah.
I know how popular Kill Tony is, but I don't know what it is because I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. I mean, Shane Gillis was part of that whole thing for a while back. As a matter of fact, he was doing Trump, and this other guy, I don't know the guy's name, was doing Biden, and they've done a whole thing about how they're going back and forth and ragging on each other, and it has been unbelievably funny. It actually is the lighthearted stab at politics that we need in today's political realm, and it has been very good. But we'll have David Jolly on here in just a few minutes. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We're getting more information about this school shooting out of Georgia. I know Deb's been pulling some information. We'll maybe talk about this a little bit when we get back.
The Tampa Bay Bucks take on the Washington Commanders this Sunday. Coverage starts at 3:30 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Drivers can expect accident activity westbound on I-4 this afternoon at Kirkman Road, where the right lane is reportedly blocked. Another crash causing delays eastbound on Maitland Boulevard, where 2 lanes are blocked just before OBT. If you run into traffic problems this afternoon, just make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Whenever you need us, just reach out and we'll be there with more locations, more experts, and more resources to deliver the healthcare you need to comfort you and make you feel your best. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
That mortgage guy, Don, also does commercial and SBA, Small Business Administration loans, too. And if you have an existing SBA loan with a rate of 9% or more, then you're in luck. That mortgage guy, Don, can refinance your qualified high-interest SBA loan to a low fixed rate of 8.25%. Want to buy a business or franchise? That mortgage guy, Don, has your back and has over 50 sources for your SBA and business loans of all sizes. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry. So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
And now, another insurance story from...
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey.
Shh.
I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Shh. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Hey, football fans, get the ultimate game day experience at Stadium Club, the newest and most immersive sports bar in Orlando. With a mind-blowing 360-degree wraparound screen and over 100 HD TVs, you won't miss a single play. Feeling competitive? Try our interactive sports simulators and challenge your friends. Score big with unbeatable food and drink specials during every college and pro game. Stadium Club is the ultimate good time. Join us on game day and let's make some noise. Check out stadiumclub.com today.
Is it a cold, allergies, or could it be a sinus issue? Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you find out. A recent study has shown that 45% of patients who suffer from allergies also suffer from chronic sinus issues that are often left untreated. So ditch those nasal sprays and over-the-counter meds for good and find a solution that actually works. The specialists at Aspire Allergy and Sinus make it easy by identifying the problem and creating a custom plan to tackle it. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
Drowning is a leading cause of death for children in the United States. But did you know that people with autism are 160 times more likely to drown compared to their neurotypical peers? The Autism Society of America's Safety on the Spectrum initiative developed a water and wandering program to change that. This program works to prevent drowning, improve water safety skills, and develop adaptive swim lessons. By increasing water safety education and training, we can prevent wandering-related tragedies. Get connected to support and resources at autismsociety.org.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
Are you offended? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Hey guys, it's me. Man, with all this rain coming down, I'm telling people to be careful. There are spots on this highway that is so blinding you don't see the ponding on the road.
Which highway?
I hear one of them was spun out. So be careful out there. And Deborah, love you.
Well, it's official. My Winn-Dixie that I work at is getting converted into an Aldi's. 10 years of loyal meat cutting for my community down the tubes. Enjoy your prepackaged meat, I guess. Sayonara. Bye-bye.
Oh, that sucks, man.
What's up, guys? Sport from Duval.
Duval.
You know, with all this stuff going on in the world, we got obesity, school shootings. We literally have astronauts lost in space. And the only thing we're figuring out is how the hell do we get bacon to taste like cereal? What are we doing? Oh, also, Deb, you forgot to mention this. Where exactly are they selling this at? And when can I get
Yeah, exactly.
Kroger, Walmart. That's where you
All
get
right,
it. Duval.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
So is Jack.
Hi.
All right, good to see you. Interestingly, we have a is this happened right before we came on the air?
Yeah, this actually took place at about 9:30 this morning was when the first call came out that it was an active shooter. This is about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta. We have a 14-year-old student who's been taken into custody, apparently surrendered to a school resource officer. 2 students are dead and 2 teachers as well. 9 others have been injured and taken to area hospitals.
Any other information about was he a student there?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's only 21 days since the school year has started.
Right,
so,
right.
they'll be looking at the usual suspects. But a 14-year-old who is alive, surrendered to a school resource officer, but you do have 2 students and 2 teachers who were killed.
And they already said that they were going to charge him as an adult?
Yes.
Yeah. But they haven't given any information about
Motive
any
or-
post or motive or anything like that?
No, nothing yet.
Wow. How did he Yeah, so many questions. I mean, obviously we know now it would be theoretically more difficult to get a weapon onto campus. He did this on campus?
Yes, he did.
In the campus.
Yeah, Appalachia High School.
Yeah, you can see images of the school now. It's on CNN right now. Everybody's out by the track field. I don't know that there's more of a threat. Then again, you don't know because we know that those other guys that were busted, there were 2 of them that were going to do their thing. Or the one guy, yeah.
But in this case, it looks like it was just this one lone student, this 14-year-old.
Yeah, they're interviewing students up there, trying to figure out what's going on and talk about what's happening. Wow, unbelievable. Well, we'll give you information as soon as we get it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's pouring in, but we'll kind of get it together. I'm sure you'll have some more on this for you heard it here first.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. David Jolly coming up in just a few minutes. You'll know him from Kill Tony. Cam Patterson also is part of that local group that made it out of here and did stuff with Kill Tony as well. And you'll remember Cam was the guy who had talked about the rocks. If you are a Kill Tony fan, he said, I'm not the R word, but I like rocks. And it killed and it blew him up and he went viral and started booking off of that one little clip. So we'll talk to David because I have to tell you, Dave was grinding it out in the open mics just like Ross was. Matter of fact, I used to see Dave do stand-up a lot with Ross. Matter of fact, the last Mo DeWitt gig I went to, I think Dave was on that down in Sanford at Tuffy's. Dave was part of that as well. So I know he comes back and forth to Florida and Austin. I think he lives in Austin now, but we'll find out what that whole thing has been like, what it's like to be around the Kill Tony crew, to be part maybe of or be on the periphery of the new wave of comedy coming out of Austin, Texas, kind of led up by Joe Rogan and some other people kind of making some waves out there with a new brand of comedy. Shane Gillis and Andrew Schultz and Mark Norman, and a number of those guys are part of that kind of crew that's that kind of new bit of comedy. Have you heard any of those guys, Jack? Like Mark Norman and those guys, any of those guys?
Not by, it doesn't sound familiar. I know Shane Gillis.
Yeah, Gillis because of the SNL thing.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. So, interestingly, it's our question of the day today, and there's a story out of it's Australia. It's Bindi Irwin.
Oh yeah,
you remember
Steve Irwin's daughter.
That's right. Bindi Irwin was the famous the croc hunter.
Yeah.
Right, his daughter. He had a son as well. And Bindi got married, right? And Bindi now has a child.
Wow.
What?
I know.
I just remember we interviewed when she was a baby.
Yes, she was a baby. Matter of fact,
now she has a baby.
he was catching hell for some photographs of having her on his shoulders while near crocodiles. Or
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he caught a lot of hell from that. I
Yeah,
mean,
he did.
He made the rounds on the talk shows back in the day when that was a thing.
Like, settle down, y'all. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in March of 2023, she revealed something about herself, and it led to a conversation about something that is very interesting that I'd never really heard. I'd never really considered it like as part of a you got to watch what you say and watch what you do kind of scenario. But, Bindi Irwin has this child. Now, you got to remember, when you grow up in the eyes of a country or countries, or as, I'm sure that any child celebrity where their parent is, the celebrity, and they kind of have to grow up in that shadow, she is unique because she actually kind of followed in his footsteps into zoology, and so did the son. I want to say his name is Robert, but I'm not 100 on that. But, she had a child. She has, I believe, a 2-year-old. And one of the things that she used to get asked all the time, and she really would get upset about it because of a medical condition, was she would get asked all the time, when are you having another baby?
Right.
When are you having another child? Because I guess the assumption is from people is you're young, right? You're young enough and you should be fertile. So therefore you should have the ability to have another kid. And
Hey, back off, J.D. Vance.
and if you're if you're beloved, right? If you're a beloved figure to people who are fans, and you have to assume that she was, she grew up as the tiny child of the croc hunter, the crocodile hunter, and she's so beloved that I think that people kind of automatically believe, hey, we want more of you. You've done so much for our lives. We've watched you and your family do all these cool things. We want more of you Irwins. Could you kind of get out there and make another Irwin? Or when are you planning on doing that?
Well, I bet even you as a young couple face that question.
Yeah,
You'd
sure.
as soon as you get married, the first question is, when are you having babies?
Yeah.
Then you have a baby. It's when are you going to have another baby?
Yeah. Well, you can bet your ass that Olivia, Ross's wife,
Is going to be asked that.
Is dealing with it right now because, Ross is a cool guy. They have a great support system. She's an awesome chick. She really is an amazing woman. And, I've already asked it.
But you don't have to be famous for people to automatically assume that, hey, your reproductive choices are, let's talk about them.
Yeah. And it is a little odd because of that scenario, right? It's a little weird because I would never consider that being rude. But what happens is this. She has endometriosis.
Oh.
Which has caused some issues with her, and she's actually dealt with it for 10 years. It's very painful. I don't know much about it. I know a buddy of mine that had it, and he said it was zero fun.
Your buddy had it?
I have a buddy that had it. I can't tell you who it is. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, no, but you just said he, and I was like, well, he couldn't have it.
Yeah. Well,
he couldn't.
They couldn't have it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
that's...
So it was, a real nasty situation. So therefore, I don't believe they plan on trying because of the medical issues that would cause troubles for her to have a child. And she says, like, every time that somebody asks her, she gets kind of reminded that she can, she's only going to have this one child. And it's really kind of depressing. Now, she wasn't crappy about it or mean. I don't think any of those people can do that, right? I mean, the Irwin family almost seems fake nice. But it was an interesting take. I'd never heard that being a thing because I would think it would be kind of a compliment in the sense that, hey, you're such a wonderful person. You're such a beautiful person. How many of these lovely children do you plan on having kind of scenario rather than, hey, when are you going to pump out another kid, Irwin? More of a loving thing. But, if you don't really consider the nature, and basically her whole point with making this is be careful what you ask people. Because you really don't know the whole scenario,
right.
And it could lead you into an uncomfortable situation you don't want to be a part of, having to stand there while somebody answers you with a very uncomfortable answer that you probably didn't want to hear because you were asking what you thought was a pretty innocuous question.
Or that you really should have to even be privy to.
Yeah, really.
So I can see that where you're focusing is on the verbiage that's used to ask the question. I think what she's focusing on is what the question faces her to force every single time, which is, this may be my one and only chance. This may be my one and only chance. And it's thousands of people, where for Ross and Olivia, it may be dozens, up to 100. But for an Irwin, I can imagine she's asked this by thousands of people, and it's got to be wearing on your soul after a while.
But would you ever have considered that to be like a rude statement to ask somebody? But when I think about it now, as I read the story, I was like,
it is, but it's not meaning to be rude.
It is not. It's not malicious. That's
Right.
the thing. It's not a malicious statement, because if I saw somebody in the building and they had a kid and it was like the kid was like 2 or 3 years old, for me to walk up and go, "Hey, about ready for number 2?" Like, I would do it almost jokingly, not realizing that you could be highlighting an issue that doesn't really need to be spoken about.
And really, isn't the topic no one's effing business?
It's nobody's business. You're 100% right. It's no one's business.
But it's common that, it's a line of questioning that's pretty much accepted until you realize you come across that instance where, unfortunately, she might desire it but cannot do it, and you are just pointing that out.
And Jack, can I tell you, I think it maybe is a generational cultural thing. Maybe they only want one kid. And who cares what you think about them wanting 3 or 4 kids? Maybe their whole plan was just to have one kid.
Well, what I think is interesting is how many times, even in my own life, you see someone who's pregnant and you touch their belly without even asking.
Stick your head up to it as if you're going to listen to something, as if it's going to say, "Hey, I'll be there in a minute." Yeah. That's so rude. But I just hadn't considered how something that would be so like innocent back in the day. Because in a small town like I'm from, if somebody gets pregnant, they have a kid, like that fertility thing is considered a gift, like a gift from God, like a faith-based gift. Like you have the ability to produce children. You should do it, because this is a gift to you. So many people can't. You should take advantage of this and have as many as possible. You can have healthy children. So I could see why culturally and generationally this would be considered completely fine to ask a young lady, how many kids you're going to have? What's your family going to look like? But now maybe not so much. Or maybe it wasn't even cool back then. We just didn't have the wherewithal to know.
Yeah, we just
never considered it.
It's kind of a communal joy.
And by the way, we have this. This is our question of the day.
That's right. It's in our YouTube chat as well as the Instagram story. If you go at Real Radio 1041 on Instagram in the story mode, you can vote there. And, we'll talk about it at the end of the program.
You got it. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. David Jolly from Kill Tony up next.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
President Biden, he was doing an event where he was talking about a new factory building these computer chips. And, of course, Biden knows all about these computer chips.
Oh, yeah.
He's a whiz on the computer chips front.
Maybe they'll come with computer dip.
So here's
the News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
Looking at heavy traffic this afternoon on I-4 in the Orlando area by the major attractions exits. Still looking at accident activity blocking the shoulder westbound on I-4 near Kirkman Road. Delays reported on Florida's Turnpike north and southbound this afternoon near the Oakland Exchange exit. If you see any traffic problems today, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by the Daytona Home Show. Don't miss the Daytona Home Show, September 7th and 8th at the Ocean Center. Come see everything for in and around your home. 2 days only. Free admission. The Daytona Home Show at the Ocean Center, September 7th and 8th.
We just told you about the Jim Colbert Show question of the day, available now online. I didn't tell you. It's brought to you by the Home Builders Network. Yep, that's Mike, the home builder. You connect with him at hbnusa.com when it's time to get it done around the home. Maybe it's a roof, maybe it's windows, maybe it's doors. When the project is bigger than your weekend to-do list, you go to hbnusa.com and connect with the Home Builders Network. Recently nominated by Orlando's Best for Best Windows and Doors. Also, a Best of Florida nominee for Best Roofing Contractor. Reach out to Mike and his team of pros at the Home Builders Network for quality, great installation, excellent service, all at a fair price. Easy website. Remember it. It's hbnusa.com.
Want to win a free motorcycle? I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and I'm giving away a free motorcycle valued up to $20,000. All you have to do is go to bikerswinorlando.com. That's bikerswinorlando.com. Enter today at bikerswinorlando.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Is it a cold, allergies, or could it be a sinus issue? Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help you find out. A recent study has shown that 45% of patients who suffer from allergies also suffer from chronic sinus issues that are often left untreated. So ditch those nasal sprays and over-the-counter meds for good and find a solution that actually works. The specialists at Aspire Allergy and Sinus make it easy by identifying the problem and creating a custom plan to tackle it. Go to aspireallergy.com to schedule your appointment. That's aspireallergy.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own, you-know-what?
Honey. Shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app? Like on your phone? I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, football fans, get the ultimate game day experience at Stadium Club, the newest and most immersive sports bar in Orlando. With a mind-blowing 360-degree wraparound screen and over 100 HD TVs, you won't miss a single play. Feeling competitive? Try our interactive sports simulators and challenge your friends. Score big with unbeatable food and drink specials during every college and pro game. Stadium Club is the ultimate good time. Join us on game day and let's make some noise. Check out stadiumclub.com today.
Kathleen Madigan, the Day Drinking Tour.
I am a fan of the millennials because they're the first generation that has realized that if you live with your parents long enough, eventually they'll be glad you're there. Yes. When your parents are 85 and they see you in the kitchen, they'll be like, hey, can you drive at night?
Friday, April 11th, Hard Rock Live Orlando. Tickets on sale Friday, September 6th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster and Hard Rock Live box office.
Wake up with football every morning and listen to my new podcast, NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal. 5 days a week, you get all the latest news, the best analysis delivered by the time you get your coffee. This show hits on every single game, every single week, but I can't do it alone, so I'm bringing in all the big guns from NFL Media. Subscribe today, and you'll immediately be smarter and funnier than your friends. Listen to NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Daily to start listening.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
This is why YouTube was created at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Every once in a while, I gotta throw y'all off. Oh, what it do? Colbert Crew, you know who? Your favorite teabag in Rockledge. I have smoked, I have toked, I have drank all the beer, and now I have no fear to drive. Yeah, I gotta get home in a little while.
Yeah, buddy, don't drive. Don't drive, buddy. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. I would love that. I love that. That's the first thing That's the first thing that my man David heard.
Yeah.
On that show. That's the very
yeah.
first. That's his introduction to the show. Well,
the next thing is, but if you do and you get in trouble, just call Mo.
yeah, just call Mo
How's
for
that?
sure. All right. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. Big round of applause for a local comedian now kind of blowing up nationally, touring everywhere. Matter of fact, he's going to be out in Denver this Friday. Good and loud for David Jolly.
Yay! Mama, we made it.
Yeah. Jolly, what's the word, man?
Just grinding, man, on the road. It's cool to be on here, though, because I used to listen to this show, like, all the time when I was in jail.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite shows. I used to always tell Ross, y'all had the Ross thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of my favorite shows, like, for real.
It's so funny because we were just talking right before we came on the air, and I learned about you through going to open mics here in Orlando. The Bull and Bush, the S Sandwich, run by our friend Ross McCoy.
Yeah.
Has been one of the local open mics in Orlando.
Best.
One of the OGs, for open mics for the longest time. And it's only 5 minutes. So I would see you go up there and do 5 minutes, and then...
Well, you used to go to the one on Saturday. Oh, that was 5, too.
Yeah,
I thought those were 10.
Yeah,
you used to come all the time.
Well, yeah, 5 and 10, and then you guys would run that just based on how your set was going.
Exactly.
And you'd see 14 people do stand-up in one evening, and I still think it's one of the best dates out there. If you haven't been to the Bull and Bush for the S Sandwich open mic comedy night, you'll be going to the OG Orlando comedy scene, and it's a cool thing. It's a very local thing.
And a lot of people might drop in, like you'll see, like probably Preacher Lawson when he first came, and everybody go there. You're gonna hang out or just go do some time. It's great. I love the S Sandwich. Yeah.
So let's talk about this, man. I mean, this thing is really so. You got featured on Kill Tony a couple times, right? Right.
Well,
you and Cam.
Well, yeah. Basically, I wouldn't say I'm a regular, but I'm pretty much a regular.
Yeah.
But he is a regular.
Right. And you guys kind of came up together right here in Orlando.
Well, when he started, I kind of like showed him some stuff that I knew, because Cam only like 3 years in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he like real new.
Matter of fact, I think I saw him do his second night of stand-up.
Probably.
At S Sandwich. I'm not kidding, dude. I'm telling you, because I think Ross said a guy that's new to the game, and he brought out Cam Patterson. I remember he was just very funny. His talking is funny. The way he speaks is funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I know he was going on the road with Ross for a little while when he first started. So, yeah, he just ran with it, That's basically what it is.
But that's what you do, right? You're looking for that break, and then because it's not like back in the day, man. Back in the day, it would be like you do like what we're doing here. You can be part of a radio show. You get on, you do some sounds, do some jokes, whatever. Then you got to turn that into stand up. But now it's like online. Now it's
you got so many
social
different avenues.
Yeah, man.
I like it better this way, just because you can pretty much sell your own ticket. You don't have to worry about nobody else or no gatekeepers or whatever. Or you not nice to this guy, so he don't do this. You create your own reality nowadays, though.
So now that things are moving around a little bit for you, you're not just an open mic guy here in Orlando. You're out there doing things. What are the biggest changes that have happened for you personally?
Just people noticing in public, because those people who follow Kill Tony, they real Kill Tony fans. They know like from this episode here and this episode here, and that's pretty cool, just being recognized, like going out in public. It's kind of crazy at first. Not real crazy, just, when people like, hey, David Jones, I'm just like, what's going on?
What do you do?
I don't owe you any money, do I? You know what I mean?
Start running.
For real.
Just all ass.
For real.
So it's interesting. I wanted to bring that up because I remember seeing Andrew Dice Clay years ago, right? You remember Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He was at the Mothership recently.
Exactly. So I saw Dice Clay when Jim Norton opened for him. And I remember Jim Norton was way funnier than Dice Clay at the time. And I really felt bad for Dice, and I'll tell you why. And I never thought Dice was a super funny guy. His stand-up, the poem things or the nursery rhymes were very funny. But what happened with Dice is he would get into like the first 30 seconds of a joke and people start yelling the joke out.
Yeah.
So when you are on something so popular that Kill Tony, and it is unbelievably popular, do you get a lot of that stuff that you did on Kill Tony that turned out to be really funny that people yelled at you while you're trying to do your set?
Yeah, it didn't happen before. You get like a gang violence.
Yeah, that's the one I got
to just like, but I mean, it's not negative gang violence. We used to say that before we go on stage, like to like kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said that, and I hope nobody joining no gangs behind it.
I put a post of your picture up today that you're going to be on the show, and underneath it, everybody just gang violence, gang violence,
Oh yeah,
gang violence.
I just read that. It's always some good listeners on 104.1 though.
Yeah, they're.
Oh yeah,
they like
real.
to come out, man, have a good time.
Oh, they like to have a good time. It used to be so crazy when I stayed here. Like you would go to every S Sandwich and you just sit there, and I didn't know if you like it or not because he just
Jimmy.
Then if he do this, that means he like laughing real hard. You know?
And I would make people. I didn't mean to do this, but this is just how I like to consume. I would sit in the dead front row.
Yeah, and you enjoy it.
I am a dead front row comedy guy because I want to see how they react and how they work and everything. I want to see if they get nervous.
Yeah.
All of that means something to me. I don't know why, but you never
Doesn't mean anything to them. Just so you're aware.
To most people, it means something. You know, like you could be in a room, you could be in a theater, you could be killing everybody. But if it's one guy that's just sitting there like that, you just thinking to yourself like, you don't care about the other people. You just want to make this guy laugh.
I saw you riff on somebody at one of the open mics for a good 10 minutes for doing that. Like, sir, am I not doing a good enough job, sir?
Yeah,
And-
just smile or something.
Give me a sign.
But then after those shows, they'll be like, hey, man, you were real funny. And I'm like, I seen you the whole time staring in my eyes.
Not laughing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but people laugh differently, though, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have your friends? I know that a lot of your friends in the scene here are also comics and stuff. Because I mean, when you would go to Bull and Bush out back, that little coven of comedians will be sitting around that table hanging out or whatever. Are most people like, hey man, great job, or you get some jealousy in there?
I mean, the people that I was cool with, I was always cool with, you know? So, I mean, I think that people, like, are just actually happy for me. Just because a lot of the people from here going out to Austin, like, at least going out there for a week, getting their feet wet. So, I don't really see any animosity. I'm pretty sure it exists, but, you know, they ain't showing it.
They're entertainers. Let me help you.
Yeah.
It exists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course it exists.
Yeah, they might not say it, but they're trying to figure it out.
Oh, yeah, in the back of their head, they probably thinking like, or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know, whatever.
Our buddy Christoph is out there now too, right?
Yeah, Christoph works at the mothership. He's a door guy.
Is he really?
Yeah, Christoph is hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he's killing it. But how do you make space in there? There's so many people that are part of that crew that seemingly like murder it.
I mean, because like if you think about it, like most weekends, people, you know, you're on the road on the weekend,
right.
So that gives a chance for like the door guys to grow. Like I was a door guy. I just stopped being a door guy just because I'm like real busy and I want to give another opportunity for somebody else to become a door guy.
That's so cool, man. I mean,
David, what does it mean to be a door guy? I mean, it's been going back decades. It's guys breaking in will work the door, whether it's, you know, the comedy club in California or now Austin. What does it mean to be a door guy, and how does that advance your career?
Like the door guy, the guy who like put the phones in the bags and take people to their seats. It's not a hard job. But being there, you just like at the club all day.
That's right.
So being at the club all day, you just around comedy. Like you know, some people get a job at Starbucks and then they call themselves comics. Nah, we gonna make some money as a door guy. It's basically a free position, to be honest.
It's an
like it is
internship.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because a lot of times you're there, and you know, mostly all of the very successful comedians are extremely nice to door guys. You know, because they know that they came from that position.
Right.
And that comes with, like, you go on the road with somebody or, you know, like a big comic, you go on the road with them. Like, most of the time, I open up for Tony Hinchcliffe now, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just opportunities like that and just you're in the green room with, like,
the ballers.
The people, yeah.
The players.
Every day, every time I see Ron White, I ask myself, what's going on right now, man? What is like? And I know him.
That guy has a jet.
Yeah, but he's the coolest guy in the world.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just like he's a comic. He treat us like comics. But even in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like I can see Joe Rogan. I'm like, all right, what up, Joe? But I'm like, this is Ron White that I'm sitting here talking to. Just because as I was a kid, I used to watch him.
Oh, he's brilliant.
You know, on the Blue Collar Comedy.
It's brilliant.
Just the nicest guy in the world.
I remember going to see that because we've known Larry the Cable Guy for a while. He's an Orlando guy. And I remember going to see that, and he was the opener that night. And his first joke was, there I was naked in a beanbag eating Doritos. That's his opening line. We're like, oh, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm in. Yeah, that'd be the question. Dave Jolly with us from Kill Tony.
Yeah, for real. You need to come out there and get
out of here. You guys always say that.
No, I'm saying, I know how you enjoy comedy, but I mean, like, go to Austin and just get the whole...
Dude, I got a story to tell you. I was out there for the Bear in the Cave.
Oh, you don't want to hear this story.
The Creek in the Cave?
A Creek in the Cave.
Yeah.
I have what could be the most unbelievable story that ever happened at a comedy club. I will fill you in when we get done with this. I cannot tell the story on the air.
Yeah,
it's that bad.
Well, you did. You just danced around.
Yeah, but I ain't going to do it now. Because I'm not doing it. By the way, where you? I know that you're working with. You're doing the big comedy showcase for Mo DeWitt. Here.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a great show. This is the third year in a row I was able to do it.
That's tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Funny Bone now. I almost said Improv.
Yeah.
But yeah, at Orlando Funny Bone, it's gonna be pretty dope. Yeah. Every year is always good. Like Modem always put together an amazing show.
Yeah, I saw
the best comics.
I was at the Toughies one for the last one you were out there. That was a great show. But
I know what joke made you laugh, and that's when I seen you do that. I was like, oh, that's a good joke.
No, you hit me twice. You hit me twice in a row. Twice with the trans kid.
Yeah.
And then the Trump thing after that, you just laid me out for 7 straight minutes. I couldn't even breathe.
That's why I was like, man, that's a good joke. That's a good one.
I mean, you wore me out that night.
Because I'm always, if I know you in there, I'm like, let me look for Jim.
Yeah,
let me see what I'm serious.
Yeah. Let's talk real quick about Krista over at the Funny Bone, right? And the reason I say that is, comedy club owners or club managers as a rule don't have the best reputation for being real savory, people. They're usually, they're trying to cut you out of money. It's always that weird club owner thing. We've been around club owners our entire careers and stuff. She breaks the mold though, dude. I gotta ask.
She the greatest.
She must be so proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is like the mother hen of all the local comics, and everybody knows Krista, and she's helped every one of you guys out.
Yeah, in some manner. Yeah,
it's got to make her so proud.
Even if all the time she texts me all the time, or I call Krista and talk to her for hours. But we've always been like that. Like Krista goes over and beyond. Like you got Austin, LA, New York, where comedy is like a #1 form of entertainment. But, she doesn't have the reach to be able to let us get the club as much. But anytime she can, she giving it to us.
Yeah, she does. I mean, I know that you and Ken and Ross and a lot of the other local guys, she's helped out quite a bit.
Oh, she go over and beyond. Even if it's nothing to do with actual entertainment business, just as a person, she's good.
Yeah. So somebody texted in and said, how did it make you feel when Tony said that you had slave face?
That was pretty funny.
Somebody said, ask him how it really made him feel when Tony said that to you.
It was a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, right?
I mean, see, that's the thing. That person that might be a millennial. I mean, a millennial. Because, back in the days, if you telling jokes, it's a joke. You ain't got no feelings and jokes. I say something about your mama, then we go on.
And that's how you bond.
I mean, yeah, that's friendship.
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. Things just crazy nowadays.
Hard to be sensitive as a comic, right? It's hard. It's hard to have thin skin as a comic.
I'm trying to get canceled. Is my point.
That's what you're trying to do.
I want to see as close that I can get. I mean, because that's the only way comedy gonna live is if you live on the edge.
Well, I think that troupe that is Kill Tony has basically doubled this to the woke crowd, to that whole cancel culture, and they're saying, "Well, give it a shot."
Yeah,
because we got a guy with $100 million in the bank that says you're not going to cancel us.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
Rogan.
Yeah,
who runs these clubs and says these clubs are going to be open and people are still going to pay $35 or $40 and they're going to come see it. And if they say some stuff you don't like, well, you can just leave because we're not going to censor it.
Your phone's locked up.
Yeah, that's right.
Your phone locked up. You can say it get crazy. You ever heard of Brian Holtzman?
No.
Oh, you got to Google him. He is the last of the Mohicans.
No, is he really?
He says everything you're not supposed to say, and he tell you, "Hey, it's a joke."
Yeah.
Like he go. He's a comics comic.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I think when Shane came out and he started doing stuff that was really on the edge about communities that really weren't joked about.
Yeah,
because he's got a Downs a cousin, I believe.
Oh, his niece.
Niece. There. And then he talks about it, and then he talks about it in a funny way, and he talks about racism in a funny way, and
it's funny.
And he packages it in a way where you're like, I should be offended, but for somehow this guy has worked it around where I can't even be offended even if I'm soft.
Yeah, you can't. It's just a joke.
Yeah. How much you writing these days?
A lot. I mean, I don't. This is all I do. Like when I leave from here, I'm gonna go work some out at the mic.
Yeah. Very nice.
So like, I mean, as much as I can, as far as writing, or I write different. I might just have a concept and just start playing with it. Because I mean, to be honest, if I'm off on a weekend and I didn't contact enough people, this is a realistic number. I can literally get up like 7 times on a Friday.
Oh,
like
really?
7. If you play, and this is not even getting in the car, this is just the
Just
downtown
walking
Austin
around.
area.
Yeah, because that place, if you've never been to Austin, Texas, it is one of the coolest places. But, when you remember downtown Orlando, when it was absolutely at its peak for cracking, like in the early to mid-'90s, that Orlando was bananas downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Multiply that times 15 because that's how every block in Austin is on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean,
like
'cause
that
it's-
place is cracking every night of the week.
It's real comedy clubs. Like, it's not like bars.
Right.
I mean, they're bar shows, but then you got real comedy clubs doing like 2 or 3 shows a night.
Unbelievable.
Like every night of the week. It's crazy. Just any night of the week. It's great for if you're a comic because it's comic friendly. Like the different clubs, they embrace the comics. Like I can go in Sunset and just go sit in the green room if it's hot and, they're not going to bother me. Hey, what's up, Jolly?
Yeah.
Close the door after yourself or whatever.
I
It's
love
like a
that.
family.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. Are you happy?
Oh, yeah, I'm extremely happy. I mean, yeah, I'm real happy. Like I stopped drinking and I just been focused. Like
you quit
every day.
drinking?
Yeah, I had a drink in a year.
God bless you, buddy.
Yeah, like I'm just focused. It's to the point where it's like, man, like whatever I can imagine, I believe I can do.
I'm so proud of you. I have to tell you, I thought that was one of your
Thank
hurdles.
you. Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
we've talked before, and,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought that was one of your hurdles. I thought if my man can figure out how to conquer this, I don't know that there's many hurdles for you after that. I really don't. And I like I tell you, like I tell the rest of the comics when I see them, write more. You guys got to write as much as possible. Like write everything you see down that you think can be funny. And because I'd see a lot of comics come up doing the same 5, same 7, same 10, and I'm like, man, that's great. It's getting laughs, but you gotta stretch sometimes. You got to get out there.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you're doing it, man.
Yeah, like I mean, when you get something at work, you kind of want to put it in your act, but like some people just work it over and over. But that's because the people that told them who they looking up to, they tell them to like, hey, get a 5 minutes and do it for 7 years. Like that's crazy. Nah,
Really?
Well, I'm not saying literally, but
You can't do that now in the internet world.
Yeah, you gotta keep going
Because
for real.
that 5 minutes will get burned up online, and then people will be like,
yeah, I want some more.
Yeah, we want some more.
That's what I like about Kill Tony. Like if you like a regular and you going up every week, that makes your brain. It makes you come up with something because you got 7 days to come up with something else.
And they see, and there's comedy junkies out there that are going to that club like every other night. Like,
Yeah.
they're wanting to see something new. They want to be part of something that hits when it happens. They want to be part of a viral clip.
Man, up at that club, it's people that'll come into town and it's 4 shows a night. They'll go to at least 2 of them, and then they'll go to one around the corner, a midnight show at the Creek. It's crazy.
We got lucky to get tickets. We got lucky.
At the mothership?
We got lucky. Yeah, we
Nice.
we didn't get in the mothership, just the Creek.
Oh, yeah, the Creek.
And we got lucky to get in there on like a weeknight, dude.
Yeah.
Because the scene is so crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. Hey, Johnny, if you don't mind, open up your mic real quick. John Bustucker here is with us.
I want you two to talk. You're like best friends.
He's the marketing director for Mo DeWitt over there at. And tell me about what's going on that night so everybody can understand. Oh, of course, we're going to have David Jolly doing his stand up. What else is up?
So it's Thursday night, tomorrow night at the Funny Bone. First time we've ever done this at the Funny Bone. As you mentioned, Jim, we've been at Tuffy's for several years, but we've sold out every year.
Yes.
And there's just nowhere to sit. And so
Right.
this was the year we were like, you know what? Maybe we get an actual comedy club. And you mentioned Krista. She's been fantastic
best.
over there.
She's the best.
So
The best.
they have just been so great. But yeah, we got David Jolly there. We got Sabrina Ambra.
Very
we
nice.
got Ryan Holmes.
Very nice.
We got Donald Evans, who won Florida's Funniest Comedian in 2022. We got Rue Navasat. If you've never seen her, watch her clips online. They're hilarious. And then Austin Kleeman, King of the Fats, he calls himself.
Yeah.
Wizard of Weight Loss as well. So every year we do this event. It's all for charity as well. There's a local charity called the Yellow Brick Road Foundation.
Yep.
They help kids with congenital heart disease.
Yeah.
We donate all the money. It's not proceeds. It's not what we raise. It's all the money. So it's just a fun thing that Mo likes to do every year.
Yeah, and then the guy who runs Yellow Brick Road, Juan, is also a very good cook as well.
Yeah, he is. He is a fantastic cook. But no, it's just a fun event. We still got tickets left. $20. You get to see David Jolly, who has been talking here on Kill Tony, and a bunch of other comedians. It's a good night.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Where do you get tickets?
Go to mocomedyjam.com. MOE comedyjam.com.
Yeah, mocomedyjam.com. Are there tickets left?
There's a few. There's not many. As I said, we have sold out this thing every year. You've been several years.
It's a blast.
And as I said, this year you get a seat. You don't have to stand for 2 hours.
Very nice. Well, Dave, always good seeing you, buddy. And congratulations on your success. And you have an open mic. Anytime you want to stop by and just say hey and drop in, you're welcome to do it.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. It's good seeing you and Deb.
Yeah, you got. And you
What about Jack? What about Jack over
Oh,
there?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Jack.
Nobody likes seeing Jack. Nobody likes seeing Jack.
Also, if you get there
I
early,
love Jack.
if you get there early, that mortgage guy Don's going to buy you a drink. So free drinks to the first 100 people.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
You can't say something that's not
But-
true.
no,
What
it's
are you doing?
absolutely true.
You got to make it a shot. It can only be shots.
Don't say that.
I like that.
All right,
Good time.
Good and loud for David Jolly. Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me.
You got it, buddy. Always
Appreciate
good
it.
to you, man. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Speaking of comedy, win them before you can buy them. Tickets to see the legendary Kathleen Madigan coming to the Hard Rock Live next year. That's up for grabs next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
We have a prize. You have a phone. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
It's now officially game week for the Buccaneers, who practice today in preparation for Sunday's season opener. They'll take on the Commanders. Right-hander Cole Sulser will step out of the Rays bullpen, and he'll start against Minnesota tonight. He's pitched 6 times in relief so far this season. And candlelight vigils will be held tonight in both Columbus and Calgary for NHL star Johnny Gaudreau and his brother after their deaths last week. I'm Scott Davidson.
Staples prints anything you need for your business, like banners, flyers, signs, and catalogs, some even same day. And now, the more you print, the more you save, up to 30% off. Plus, save even more with Staples Easy Rewards program. Offer ends 9/7. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
This summer, get a brand new grill at a great price from our friends over at Tools Ace Hardware. Up to $300 off a brand new Traeger grill. Get that beautiful wood-fired flavor when you cook for the family. Or maybe you like propane grills. Well, you're in luck. These guys have $150 off of a grill from Napoleon. That's a professional series. But Tools also carries grills and pizza ovens from Big Green Egg, Weber, RegTech, Gosney, and Uni. And when you buy a grill from Tools Ace Hardware, you get free assembly and free local delivery on grill purchases $3.99 and up. It's Tools Ace Hardware. 13 convenient locations right here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. That's 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I'm Olivia. When I was injured in a car crash, I knew from listening to the station who I needed to call. I called attorney Glenn Klossman. I knew I had a super lawyer on my side. I was extremely happy with the results. I'm Olivia, and I highly recommend attorney Glenn Klossman, Office Winter Park.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. Text AM to 52886.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, are you having a good time?
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. iHeartRadio, let's go! Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. information. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Sabrina from the News Junkie, and I'll be performing at the Just Call Mo Comedy Jam on September 5th at the Orlando Funny Bone. The show is a benefit for the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, and tickets are just $20. Get them at mocomedyjam.com.
Christopher Chambers enlisted in the U.S. Navy and later graduated from SEAL training. He was conducting a nighttime raid on a ship that was illegally transporting advanced lethal aid from Iran to Houthi forces in Yemen when he died in the line of duty. Christopher was 37 years old. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation provided Christopher's wife and young daughter with a mortgage-free home. Help America's heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s at the old Lake Howell High School, I was one of the first kids in school with a CD burner. And I think I owe NSYNC a few grand for how much I made on a side hustle burning those off to the kids with the No Strings Attached album.
Okay. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. You know, for a while, I think that album held the record for fastest to sell or most albums sold in the first week.
Yeah.
I think they sold 1.2 million albums in like 7 days. I think for a while that was the record.
Yeah. Earlier, we were talking about mixtapes and cassettes, and, you know.
Yeah.
If you were an early user of a CD burner, you had a lot of friends.
Oh, yeah. You did have a lot of friends. All right. 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack has the Jackie Sack. All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo-choo.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
All right, here's the deal. You win them before you can buy them because they're going on sale to the general public this Friday. You can win them today. It's Kathleen Madigan at the Hard Rock Live. You can see the comedian. This actually happens April 11th, 2025.
Whoa.
That's next year.
Plenty of
But
time to plan.
Tickets are going on sale Friday. And like I said, you get to win them today. If you win JCS Trivia, Jackie Sack is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local. Support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company and keep it local by mentioning the Jim Colbert Show, because like a good neighbor, he's going to get you a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Clickety-clack. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Deb.
Sure.
Jack, who goes first today?
Oh, first is going to be Scott.
Scott right there on line 2. Scott, how are you?
I'm good, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing fine, boss. Would you like to play a little game with us?
I do.
Let's do it.
Game show.
All right, Scott, this is a very, very easy game. Got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers, however, is a lie, Scott. It's an untruth.
No.
If you can find it, though, I'll send you over to see Kathleen Madigan next year, and you are going to love her because she is a monster. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go, buddy. On this day in 1981, Grammy award-winning singer, songwriter, actor, entrepreneur, has been one of the most successful artists of the last 3 decades.
Beyonce?
Beyonce is the answer.
All right.
Wow, good job.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Married to rap royalty.
That's right, Jay-Z.
Right, married to Jay-Z. Beyonce was born on this day, buddy. Here are 3 fun facts about Beyonce and 1 bottle of hot sauce in your purse of a lie.
Sounds good.
Here we go. Number 1. She's the only performer in history to have 20 top 10 songs as a solo artist and 10 top 10 songs as a member of a group. Number 2, Beyonce is the fastest female artist to sell 50 million albums. Number 3, Beyonce and MMA star Ronda Rousey are the only 2 non-supermodels to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Or lastly, although she's endorsed and created fragrances throughout her career, she is allergic to perfume. Which of those is a lie?
Let's go with the last one.
No, dude, that's absolutely true. Beyonce is allergic to perfume, and she has a bunch of them.
Oh,
and
man.
actually one of the best-selling ones ever, by the way.
That's terrible.
And my wife asked the question this morning. We were kind of talking about this, and like, how can you be allergic to perfume? And I guess, well, maybe it's just the stringents or whatever they use, the oils, maybe some of that, or something they use to create it is allergic to. Who knows? Who's next, boss?
Stan.
Let's go right there to Stan. Oh, I think that is incorrect. Hold on one second. Hey, Stan, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Beyonce's birthday's today. That's who we're talking about. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, she's the only female performer in history to have 20 top 10 songs as a solo artist and 10 top 10 songs as a member of a group. Number 2, Beyonce is the fastest female artist to sell 50 million albums. Or lastly, Beyonce and MMA star Ronda Rousey are the only 2 non-supermodels to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition.
I'm going to say number 3, sir.
No, that's absolutely true.
Really?
The only 2 people who were not supermodels to appear on the cover of the SI Swimsuit Edition are Beyonce and Ronda Rousey.
You've made it this far.
I have. Jack, who's next?
Martin.
Martin right there on line 4. Martin!
Yes.
All right, buddy. We're talking about Beyonce, Martin. You got a 50-50 shot at your win here. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, she's the only female performer in history to have 20 top 10 songs as a solo artist and 10 top 10 songs as a member of a group. Or lastly, Beyonce is the fastest female artist to sell 50 million albums.
Throwing a lot of numbers on that first one, so I'm going with the first one.
No, dude, that's absolutely true.
You made it, Puzzle Master.
Absolutely true. She is the only female performer in the history of music to have 20 top 10 songs as a solo artist and 10 as a member of a group. I'll give you one guess who the other one is. That's right, Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Say hello to Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You are doing great. Tell me if this is true about Beyonce Knowles. She's the fastest female artist to sell 50 million albums.
I'm going to say that's false.
That is false.
Yay!
For extra points
Yay!
that mean nothing, who is that artist?
Eminem.
No, it's a female.
Oh, God. Dolly Parton.
Madonna.
Who?
Yay! She still wins.
Yeah, you're a winner. That's right. Beyonce turns 43 today, I believe. Man, is she a pretty girl. She's a beautiful woman.
Yes, she is.
Statuesque woman, by the way, and very ridiculously talented. A really gifted girl. All right, a few other things you may not know about Beyonce before we get to the top of the hour and talk to our good friend Saucy Padgett, who's calling in just a few minutes. Ross Padgett. Her full name is Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. Sounds
Regal
like
name.
Sounds like a law firm. She donated her entire salary from her 2008 movie Cadillac Records to open a cosmetology school and a drug rehab facility.
Oh, that's cool.
So as they're getting rehabilitated, they can also learn a skill that they can apply to make a job. I thought it was pretty cool as well.
That's very cool.
Has known R&B superstar Alicia Keys since they were 14 years old.
Oh,
Kind of grew up together a little bit. And then lastly, Beyonce is the most Grammy-nominated female recording artist in history. And oddly, who do you think the most Grammy-nominated male artist is? And I did not believe this, and I looked it up 15 times. It's her husband, Jay-Z.
Is it really?
Yeah, between them, they are the most nominated Grammy artist in the history of music.
Wow.
And I was like, man, Jay-Z, really?
I know.
I don't like assuming things, but I bet they're probably rich.
Yeah.
I think they're billionaires, right? I think Jay-Z was a billionaire before he even got to, or was it the other way around?
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, I don't know because
I think Jay-Z actually
beat on that's Dre.
Oh, that's right.
But that's Dr. Dre. But he did Tidal, which is the music business, music thing, and then he sold that. But he also had, was it Ciroc or was that Diddy?
It's hard separating all the millions.
Is Diddy.
But he also had
oh, jeez. Celebrity net worth. Oh, Mike. Whoa.
Is it the both of them or is it just him?
This is just Jay-Z.
1.6 billion.
2.5 billion.
Jesus, man.
Whoa.
The first billion's the hardest to make.
It really is.
After that,
then it's just interest.
It comes easy. Yeah.
What's hers?
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. It's definitely not that, but it's got to be in the 700 million range.
I would imagine.
Because, I mean, she actually may be a billion because I'm telling you, man, she has so many interests out there on top of her music, which she actually writes a lot of, which means she has the publishing rights to it, and that's where you really make the money.
You were pretty close. 800
Yeah,
million.
yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to know if they do split, she'll be okay.
Yeah, cut corners where you have to.
God almighty, how great. Boy, those are two success stories, too. Jay, his childhood was sketch. All right, 407-916-1041. Back with Ross Padgett in 1 sec.
The new Real Music Weekends begin this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traffic is still heavy in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound, traveling through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at activity reported on Ronald Reagan Boulevard at Silkwood Court. A crash is now just blocking the left shoulder westbound on Alafaya at Kerrigan Avenue. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by the Daytona Home Show. Don't miss the Daytona Home Show, September 7th and 8th at the Ocean Center. Come see everything for in and around your home. 2 days only. Free admission. The Daytona Home Show at the Ocean Center, September 7th and 8th.
Hey, everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Time to be a hero. Tell your friends and family about Life Imaging FLA. And if you have a family member or a friend that you think could really benefit from the scan over at Life Imaging FLA, then get them over there. That's exactly what I did for my in-laws. Let me tell you, September is Healthy Aging Month. And that's it. That is exactly what Life Imaging does, is they tell you what's going on inside your body so you don't have to guess. And here's the problem, man. You won't see symptoms for these issues until the very last minute, until it's too late. That's why it's great to know in advance. That's why early detection saves lives. And remember, there are no dyes, no injections. You don't take your clothes off. This entire process only takes a few minutes. But the information you get is vital. It really is. Don't wait. Do what I did. My wife did. My in-laws did. And hundreds of Central Floridians. Call Life Imaging FLA right now. Get that free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value. And it's imperative that while you're there to please ask about the cancer screening as well. And making your appointment couldn't be easier. Here's all you have to do. Simply pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. That's pound 250. Say that keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make that call today. Make 2024 the year you finally take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
And now, another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Wow, I wonder how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month. And no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Premier Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounitus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Of course, you can always text us at 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Yo.
Jack is as well.
Yeah.
You guys give it up good and loud for our friend Ross Paget. Yay! He is the host and founder of Good Sauce, which you can hear tonight at 8 o'clock right here on Real Radio 104.1 with his buddy Joel and Renato. How are you doing, good friend?
It is true.
How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, man. I'm doing all right. It is still hasn't happened. If you are one of the many people invested in my life and my wife and I's pregnancy, more hers than mine. It hasn't happened yet. However, I have this week off. I really hope it's this week. I think I've expressed this to you in the past. I think this is C-Lane's birthday. I don't want this to happen on September 11th.
That is C-Lane's birthday.
It is C-Lane's birthday. Yes, it is.
Does that make me a bad person?
Nope. Let me ask you a question. Would it be worse to be born on September 11th or 420?
Oh, you know what? As someone who partakes, I'm gonna go 420.
Yeah.
There's my boy.
I knew a kid in high school who was born on 420. His first name was the letter Z.
What?
And his middle name was Friday because he was born on a Friday. So all of us just thought he was like a government project.
Like our Elon, one of Elon Musk's kids.
Yeah. So his nickname was Project throughout all of high school. So whenever I think about a birthday on 420, I'm like, I tried, being a parent and fatherhood. Yeah, that's a lifelong project, but I don't want that to be my kid's nickname.
I saw the clip from the show that you put up today with you and Joel, and how you are saying and Joel is explaining how your life is going to change, how it's not going to be it's not like you're getting hit by a train. It's a slow, miserable torture death.
Yeah. I thought that was worth posting a clip for. Because the original question is everything I've ever known about to end as soon as I hear that baby cry? Or does it happen in Joel's stance? Does it happen over, 5 years or 7 years or 10 years where all of a sudden, as he said, that activities just start, Thanos snapping into leaves and they just dissipate into the air? Maybe I won't partake any, things like that. So I'm really curious to see who I am with some father pants on. I'm as curious as finding out who he is as I am. So one of the best pieces of advice that I got, because throughout this whole pregnancy, I don't think I'm alone, that you start being a little bit critical of your own parents. Did you experience that, Jim?
I don't know that I went through that. I'm just being honest. I don't think I went through that. I wasn't allowed to do that. That would get you punched in the face.
Well, I mean, to yourself, you're an adult when I'm looking back on my childhood, and I hadn't been upset about losing my father at 13 until I found out that I was going to be a dad. So then I got mad at who other than Roger Keith Padgett, because I'm thinking, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. But I heard this great adage, this little ism that really stuck with me, is that your parents are finding out how to parent on the go, right?
Yes.
The first day you turn 7, they've never had a 7-year-old before.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah.
they're also winging it.
Yes.
What I'm trying to get at is that I don't think anybody really knows what any of us are doing, right?
No, you really don't. You learn as you go, because every child is different. My kids were different to raise, but I do know this. The most horrifying thing, and it seemed so not callous, but it seems so flippant, is when everything was done, they cleaned the baby up. They come up next morning, make sure that the ex was doing okay physically, and they're like, okay, time to go. And we're like, time to go? This thing just happened. Like it happened 18 hours ago. What do you mean get on get? I'm supposed to stay here for a week for training, right? They're like, nah, player, you get out of here. And they're like, you got to go get your van. You got to bring your van around here. You got to put this baby in that van. You got to take this baby home, dude. And you got to start raising this child. And that's it. I mean, there is no manual. They don't have a sit down with you. Nothing. You now have a child and you learn.
I've heard that they give you a pamphlet. Or at least that they did, like a little 3 trifold brochure.
That's exactly what I got, and it was right after my daughter was born. And then there says, "I bet you've heard that this doesn't come with a book." She's like, "Well, they're wrong." Here, and handed me that. And I think it was more to just keep me busy.
Yeah.
Have you? But on tonight's, go ahead.
No. I was gonna. Have you guys had a discussion on how you're going to discipline the child?
It's going to be. Call it for what it is. You guys know this. Yeah. Olivia's going to be way better at that part than I am, because when I get mad, it's laughable. People don't take it serious. My voice cracks. I'm really pissed off about this, and then it just shatters.
So from the beginning, you got to be on the same page.
Yeah, you do.
Because from the earliest age, they'll learn. If there's a seam, they will exploit.
It's like a roach. You can never imagine that a roach can get through that crack.
Yep.
That roach is going to get through that crack.
Yeah.
And that kid is going to find out which one of you he can play.
And we know which one it is.
Oh, it's going to be you, buddy. It's going to be you.
So I think the pro, I don't think I am the only person on this planet who's experienced this thought process. I raged and partied pretty hard throughout the vast majority of my 20s. And my late teens. What I'm trying to say is,
and your early 30s.
Yeah, and I got twisted a couple times. 31, 30 deuce. You know.
And this week has been a little hit or miss.
Yeah. I'm drunk now.
Yeah. I am wasted, is what I'm trying to say. But what I think the God honest cause and effect of getting a little banged up, maybe arguably more than I should have in my 20s. My late teens, and we'll put in my early 30s, is that the vast majority of my memories that stuck because I wasn't partying was my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I specifically remember what it's like being a kid. How important is remembering what it was like being a kid hopping into parenting?
Man,
or honestly, Deb, and this is also for you, when you interact with a child, do you put yourself in the mentality of, well, this is what I was going through when I was a kid, so of course they would do whatever is happening in front of you?
Just remember that kids understand a lot more than we give them credit for.
That's for damn sure.
And that's what my memories are remembering my mom or my mother's friends around the time of my parents' divorce of, oh, well, she'll be fine. We'll just take her here and let her play outside and she'll be fine. And while hearing those words, thinking, not so fine.
Yeah, they're going to be a little more cognizant of what's happening in the house earlier than you believe. By the time they're 3 or so, they can really kind of understand and make sentences. They're going to be aware of how you guys interact together. They know.
Even if they can't verbalize it, they will know it.
So throwing this out here, if that does happen, which I'm not ruling it out that it won't, I'm just saying that if that does happen, which probably it will, that will be Olivia. That will be the Olivia side.
Okay, that's the Olivia side. Very good.
And being aware of the situation around them. Because when I was a kid, straight animal, dude, I was a mongoose. I had no thought processes. I was just attacking and defending everything.
Like a feral dog?
Dude, I had like a 6-month span where I just wanted to see how loud my voice could get. So I just yelled.
I've got a cure for that.
Yeah. Like I specifically remember going like, well, let's see really how these vocal cords, let's see how I can push it up to 12. All of my family thinks that there's something wrong with me, but I'm just trying to impress them in my sweet new banshee ways. I remember the dumbest of thoughts that I had as a kid. I've told you guys this. I had an imaginary friend named Real Man.
Yeah.
What am I doing there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that proves that you're creative. I mean, obviously, I think we all had like imaginary friends.
It also proves that I'm an idiot if I named my imaginary friend Real Man, which is then obviously I'm trying to cover up the fact that he's not real. So I'm like insecure about my imaginary friend.
Mm-hmm.
Just I look forward to see what crazy thought processes, because that's what kids do. Ever since finding out, I've been interacting with as many kids as I can when the parents allow it, because sometimes I'm a little aggressive because I'm like, I have the right. I can talk to your kid because I have one on the way, and they're like, dude, you have awful facial hair. Get away from me.
Also, it's important to embrace creativity and embrace uniqueness, but don't support it to the point where it becomes like a crutch. I would say that. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but there
are still rules and responsibility.
There you go. There are a lot of parents who are like, I just want him to be himself. I want him to experience life, and you should be able to do these things. Don't do that. Kids love structure. I know that it doesn't seem like that, but kids love structure. They love it.
You're telling a guy whose one of his mottos is no rules.
Yeah. No rules.
My apologies.
No rules, except for you, little one, dude. You have got to stop doing that.
There we go.
I'm going to tell that kid to stretch his voice out as fast as I can. Just go around and yell. And when he yells, I'm like, I think you can do better than that, buddy. Here's $5.
Dude, imagine little me just ruining Thanksgiving because I won't stop yelling.
God.
It's almost here. My offspring is almost here.
Yeah.
My sweet karma is on his way.
It is. Oh, Kathy Page is going to love this payback.
Yes, she is.
This is going to be epic payback.
The best payback ever.
You know what's so funny? This is the best part. Everyone's asking me like, hey, what do you think the baby's eyes are going to be like? What do you think? How much does the baby weigh? What color hair do you think your baby will have? And then my mom's like, I bet you we can get a nice, just beautiful butter fade coming out of them, probably about 6 or 7. She keeps talking about my kid's golf swing. Everyone else is like, so like, did you guys find out?
Man.
She's going like, I promise you, your child will never 3-putt.
Get that Calcavecchia slap fade going. I love it.
I wanted to throw this out here. Tonight's episode is a little bit more of that. I compiled, and I'm starting to take more and more time creating these little top 5s that I love talking about with the boys, especially on the cast of the show. We have one who's not a dad. We have one who's a father of 2, and then one who's on his way. So we're the trifecta of dudes right now. But I talked about my top 5 things that I'm really, really looking forward to being a dad. I promise you, my child will experience a puppy underneath the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's what you got to do for sure. And by the way, how are the dogs?
No, the dogs are doing good. I'll be honest with you. My 15-year-old dog got diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago. Happiest she's ever been. I don't know if it's because she's almost out, but she is loving her life right now.
Very good. Well, buddy, always good hearing from you tonight. It's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel and Renato. Good episode tonight. The clip I saw is funny. I always listen on the way home, and I'll do it again tonight, buddy. Good seeing you.
Absolutely. It's mutual. And one more plug, because this is definitely the most special audio recording I've ever had. I know that next week I will not be with Joel and Renato because I recorded next week's episode with just my wife and I. And that ended up being the best time I've ever hit record on anything. So we'll be doing a part 1 before our child comes, and then a part 2 after. Starting next week.
Yes.
Also, fun treat at the end of tonight's episode, you might hear a name. All right, I gotta go. That's a tease.
Right.
I learned from the best.
Get out of here.
I learned from the best.
All right, there he is, Ross Patchett tonight. Good Sauce, Ross and Joel, Renato. Get that tease. Don't fast forward. Don't cheat.
No, definitely not.
All right.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in one sec. Good seeing you, dog.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Traffic is still heavy in the usual spots on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound, traveling through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at activity reported on Ronald Reagan Boulevard at Silkwood Court. A crash is now just blocking the left shoulder westbound on Alafaya at Kerrigan Avenue. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Sharp stomach pain? Advice is here. Consult a nurse. Answers, advice around the clock. Consult a nurse. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
Guys, listen up. You have plans to sell your home for any reason at all. Take a few minutes before you do that and learn a little bit about the Nickley Group. These guys are changing the real estate game. Stress-free, innovative real estate solutions for home sellers and home buyers. And do not believe the news that the market is softening here in Orlando. That is patently untrue. Orlando homes still selling for record prices. And if you are considering selling your home for any reason, downsizing, relocating, maybe you need a bigger home as your family expands like my man Ross, contact the Nickley Group. Because not only does the Nickley Group sell homes on average for 6% more, they sell them twice as fast as well. You can get your home valued instantly, get a guaranteed cash offer, or list your home. Do all of that right now, today, at thenickley.com. And I'll say this again, with the rates as low as they've been in a year, most people out there have been waiting for this rate drop. Well, guess what? You're in a crowd now. You need somebody to help you navigate through that to find the house of your dreams. The Nickley Group can do that for you. 3,000 five-star reviews, and they are waiting for your call right now. It's thenickley.com. That's N-I-C-K-L-E-Y group.com.
Car crash? Call Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com. That's Klausman.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas,
September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
The human soul requires a minimum daily requirement of entertainment. Welcome to MGM Rewards. With the greatest live shows on earth, they have all the entertainment you can handle and more. Book now and make the most of your Vegas getaway at MGMRewards.com.
This is the sound of real people across Florida betting on sports. It's the sound of winning your bet, only on Hard Rock Bet. And if your first bet doesn't win, you get up to $100 back to try again. Hard Rock Bet is Florida's only legal sports book. Your home for betting hoops for any sport you choose. Download Hard Rock Bet now and get 2 shots at your first bet. Win, or you'll get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
And now another insurance story from
Smart Bunny.
how much all this costs. Shh. Well, it can't be cheap. Do we even have enough for our own you-know-what?
Honey, shh. I heard he bought final expense insurance through the Smart Bunny app.
The Smart Bunny app?
Like on your phone?
I know what an app is.
For the love of all things decent, be quiet.
Get up to $25,000 of lifelong coverage for funeral expenses, debts, and other needs for as little as $14 a month, and no medical exam is required. So hop on the Smart Bunny app now and grab some final expense insurance.
Honey, are you buying the insurance, like, right now?
Time is precious.
So true.
Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
I'm Mark Anajar.
I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine.
If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE.
In Office Orlando.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Start your engines for the Central Florida International Auto Show November 14th to the 17th at the Orange County Convention Center with hundreds of new and unique vehicles. Buy tickets now and save $2 per ticket at OrlandoAutoShow.com.
It's the Greater Orlando Sports Commission's Celebrating Women in Sports Luncheon, presented by Orlando Health Jewett Orthopedic Institute. Wednesday, September 25th at Addition Financial Arena. Celebrate women in sports. To purchase a table, visit GreaterOrlandoSports.com.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trenley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trenley Kramer, TK Law, one firm for life.com.
Wake up with football every morning and listen to my new podcast, NFL Daily, with Greg Rosenthal. 5 days a week, you get all the latest news, the best analysis delivered by the time you get your coffee. This show hits on every single game, every single week, but I can't do it alone, so I'm bringing in all the big guns from NFL media. Subscribe today, and you'll immediately be smarter and funnier than your friends. Listen to NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Daily to start listening.
This hour of programming is brought to you by My Home Builders Network. Need new windows? Then you need Mike and his team at HBNUSA.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
I just realized how large the world is. Jay-Z is worth $2.4 billion, and I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
I remember when I first started doing comedy, and Jimmy and his wife and some friends sat right in the front there at Bull in the Bush, man. Caught me off guard, threw everything. Oh my gosh, I remember walking off stage, but man, you are intimidating. But I'm ready for you now.
Okay, buddy.
Here.
Okay, buddy.
Okay.
About time to get out.
Here, Jimmy. Hope to see you at Suds Pubs and Pints on the 21st.
You certainly will.
And Jack, and Naomi, and Deb. And will Angel be there DJing again? I love that guy. Okay, have a great day.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye. Evil Eye out.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. He's talking about Suds, Pups, and Pints coming up on the 21st of September. That's just a few weeks away. Tons of stuff to do, actually.
RealRadio.fm/dogwash if you want to get information on it with all the details. But it is because it's a charity dog wash. You donate money, and volunteers will wash dogs. You can even, if you want to be part of it, bid to have one of the three of us wash your dog. All that money goes to the Humane Society of Lake County,
which is a no-kill shelter. They're in Umatilla, and even though they have the name Humane attached to their name, they are not a part of the National Humane Society.
Which means they don't get that funding.
They don't get that funding there. They also don't get government funding. They may apply for a grant or two, but all of their support comes from the community. So events like Suds, Pups, and Pints really make a difference for them.
People donating that day to have their dog wash, or any donation, you can do that. That's going to be well received and accepted. But also, there will be silent auction items as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we invite you, if you have an item that you would like to see as part of the silent auction. I know Troy from Mad Hombre Hot Sauce is going to be once again donating the cigar box, the gift set of the 5 hot sauces that, Jimmy, you said you've actually gone through all 5 of them.
That Smoke Wagon is so good. It's a Chipotle sauce. We're also going to have a Jim Colbert Show Corona cigar package out there as well.
And our official beer, Guinness, will also have an official package for you to bid on as well. But if you are interested in donating any silent auction items, you can just email me at deb@realradio.fm.
And this is not like an old glove of yours or anything like that. We're talking
but
about,
if I get desperate enough, I will pull stuff out of the drawers in my house, and you will see an old glove, maybe an old COVID test, an old mask.
But if you manage like a tool store or something, and you can skank around, maybe a reciprocating saw or a drill and put a package together, or maybe you run a restaurant and you want to put a couple gift cards together and have them out there to raise some money, any of that would be welcome. Again, it's deb@realradio.fm.
And you can see that all on our website. The information is there. And shout out to Pisces Rising. Once again, they'll be handling the bar because it's Suds, Pups, and Pints. There will be beverages available for the adults.
Yeah, they're going to have their pooch pouches back out again this year. I don't know if you guys remember the pooch pouches.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They were just fruit juice.
And by the way...
Yeah, I wasn't going near that because I needed to pace myself.
Yeah, exactly.
The only drawback is the cost to get in. Oh, wait a minute, it's free.
It's free.
That's right. This doesn't cost anything. And Mountain Door, with their new city ordinances, by the way, you can walk around with your cocktail and enjoy the entire day. It's all contained in a few blocks. It's very easy to get around. It's a wonderful time, and we can honestly not wait to do this. This is such a great event. The new T-shirt is up right now, JimColbertLive.com. You can see it. Deb's holding it up.
We'll have shirts this year.
Yeah, we're going to have a 9-hole mini golf course.
Which is awesome.
The foaming beer mug will be back. We're going to be playing...
Look at a little gambling game going on that thing.
Yeah.
Family friendly.
Very
way
family friendly.
Yeah. And we have entertainers as well, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Glenn Clausman and Clausman Law.
You. And I also got word today that Hillcrest Insurance is also back on board, so we're able to... We're still waiting to get confirmed word, but we will have a family magician, a festive stilt walker doing doggy balloon sculptures.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have a balancing juggling act. There will be a DJ there, but we're giving Angel, who never gets a weekend off, off.
By the way, and again, when we talk about great deals, I don't know if you've noticed a pattern here, but we do events that are very affordable. Like, our event coming up at Sunset Walk is $20. This is a free event.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because we know things are a little tight out there sometimes, and we want to make sure that everybody has access to this great entertainment.
Well, my goal for this event was, you guys, everyone's had dogs, and you know that feeling when you grab your keys on a Saturday and the dog looks at you like,
oh, yeah,
you're going out again?
Yeah.
You were just gone. So this gives 3 hours. Parents, kids, the dogs can go out, have a fun afternoon, not spend a lot of money, have a great time, help a great cause.
And if you're worried about your dog, like having a problem with other dogs, we did not have, and there were tons of dogs, not one problem the entire day.
And I think that's because those of you who do know that your dogs are maybe not good with kids, a lot of kids around, maybe they're not good with loud noises or crowds, go ahead and leave them home. Come to the event. You can still make a donation to the Humane Society of Lake County, and there'll be tons of free swag for you to bring back for your pet at home.
And
So
plenty of dogs on hand thanks to Pawfection Dog Training
Yeah.
and all the therapy dogs that'll be out there.
Yep, he's going to be doing some training, and he had his 40 to 50 dogs out there, Daryl Payne did, and they were a hit.
Yeah, they were.
They were a hit.
Yeah, the thing is just so much fun. So join us. It's September 21st, downtown Mount Dora. We started around.
It's a 3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, 3 o'clock or so. Yeah.
It's right there at Sunset Park.
For Jimmy, it's 3 o'clock or so. Deb knows exactly when it starts.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
What I'm laughing at is I'll get there at 3. Deb will be there at 8 that morning.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the joke there.
Actually, I plan to sleep at Sunset Park.
Very
that
good.
night.
Very good. All right. Well, we hope you join us again. It's realradio.fm/
Dogwash.
Attaboy. Thank you very much.
Attaboy.
407-916-1041.
Good boy. Oh, yeah, good boy.
So have you guys ever gotten a power bill that was more than you thought it should be?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Paid it.
You just paid it?
It wasn't that far out of but I remember the first time I was like, oh, we're into that number now.
Yeah, we're on that world, right?
Yeah, but I remember it was when I was in this house, first experiencing having to run the heat in the same month that I was running AC. It was a December one time, and I was just like, oh, that's more than usual.
Oh, yeah. Everybody grab a blanket.
Yeah.
I had an 850 one once because of heat as well.
I don't come close to those numbers.
Yeah, that was a bad one because we ran the heat 15 days, 16, 18 days in a row. When it got cold, that snapper.
Right,
I think it was like an 18-day run where it never got over 60 in Central Florida. This would have been back in 2017 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, 16, 17. That was a bad one there. And we knew it was going to be bad. And we had an old unit, which made it even worse.
Right.
How about
Nothing
you?
like an old unit.
Yeah. Got 2 of those now. Well, this Melbourne family's in a bit of a pickle, and it really sucks what happened to them. And I really hope, and if they don't get any resolution here, we may have to hop in here and try to help out as much as possible. I don't know what we could do, but a Melbourne family got stuck with a $12,000 electric bill.
Whoa! How did that happen?
So Michelle White told News 6, a worker with Florida Power and Light showed up last Wednesday and turned the power off to their home. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, it's hot outside.
Yeah.
They said they left a letter taped to the door, and it read, illegal tampering with FPL's equipment has occurred at your location, and that tampering has caused the meter to improperly under-register the electricity that your home has been using. There's a jump in here. In other words, I think you can jump a diode or whatever, and it measures less than what you're using or whatever.
Okay.
Right? So somebody's been stealing electricity. They figured it'd been happening for a few years.
Oh.
So they went back to 2019, and they prorated what their bill should have been and hit them all at once with it. Right? But the lady says, by the way, how many square foot do you think this house is?
1,200?
2,500.
Yeah, it's 1,000 square feet.
Oh, my goodness.
$12,000 power bill for a home that's 1,000 square feet. Okay? I just saw a new bill dated all the way back from 2019. They charged us the difference from what we paid to what they think we should have paid. Now, News 6 calculated the family's power bill, which is an average of?
I'd say 250, maybe 300.
But they said the average was $62 lower than it would have been. So they went back 62 times and then went back 5 years or whatever, and that's how they came up with the bill of $3,720 underpaid since 2019. But that's not what they said FPL says they owe. We viewed the bill in the amount of $12,245, and the lady was like, this is so outrageous, it had to be a glitch in the system. It's like when you get your paycheck and you made $1.6 million.
Right, yeah.
Right, you know it's not right. You obviously know it's right.
I wish it was.
Now, her boyfriend, who is the actual home owner, his name is Alan Knight, said they called FPL for help, and after one of the power lines coming to their home caught fire. That's when they found that the meter had been tampered with. The lady said, I've never tampered with this thing. I don't even know how to do it. How could I even possibly do this? And by the way, they never told them this was going to happen. They only put the letter after they turned the power off. So they never came to them and said, hey, your power is being tampered. So when the meter reader came to fix the power line and change the meter out, the guy there never said to them, hey, by the way, I think your meter's been tampered with. You may want to call the FPL and find out what's going on. Never said anything. He just taped a letter to the door saying, you owe us $12K.
Oh.
And he said,
You can kiss mine.
And the guy said, I would have never known that you had, that I would have been jumped. I wouldn't know how to do any of that.
No.
Like, it wouldn't. It says, I have a kid that takes a nebulizer every 4 hours, and he has an oxygen machine.
Oh, no, those cannot be shut off.
And they turn his power off. They have a generator running through their window, so they have a window unit keeping one room cool and keeping the kid in there with the nebulizer. So they don't care about the kids. The statement from FPL, and by the way, they said there's no way they can come up with the 12 grand. No way possible. And they did nothing wrong. But FPL won't even negotiate or talk to him about it.
How long have they owned the house?
It doesn't really say. And that's the first thing I thought, too.
See, yeah, because they're calculating from 2019. So it seems like at 2019, they saw a significant drop in the regular power bill.
And maybe somebody did
usage.
Maybe somebody did it before they moved in and then moved out, and they automatically assume these people did it. And of course, here's the thing. I mean, FPL can't prove it. I mean, it's just on their meter. They can't prove it. Now, it doesn't make sense for somebody else to come in and jump your meter so you save power.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to do that, so they automatically assumed that the people living there did it. But with a power bill already so low, why would you take a big chance like that, for $60 a month? It says they're using a generator now. This is FPL's statement. Out of respect for customer privacy, we do not comment on individual accounts. However, it's important to note that high bills can stem from various factors, including charges for electricity stolen through meter tampering. Stealing electricity is not only illegal, it's unsafe. Blah, 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 blah. And it says if tampering is detected, we may back bill a customer for an account or unpaid and unauthorized electricity consumption and charge investigation fees.
as $9 grand in investigating,
as permitted by the Florida Public Service Commission.
Yeah,
it says the only people that have ever been in there have been you guys. How do we prove that? How can we prove that you didn't mess it up? It says we have cameras in our house, so if anybody would have been near that thing, we would have known. Had anybody tampered with it, we would have known. And safety experts say that one thing that homeowners can do to safely make sure your electric meter hasn't been tampered with is turn off all your breakers in the house and then go look at your meter. If it's still moving, you have a problem.
But you'd have to suspect that.
You would have to suspect it. And the thing is, I guess maybe, and the one thing it doesn't say in here, and again, I'm always very skeptical because, companies like this usually don't make giant mistakes. And when they do, sometimes, most of the time they will rectify it. We even had issues with the FPL and Duke, and we've had these situations rectified. We've had power company and water company issues, and as long as you're courteous and you can make your statement logically, they usually will work around this. But it doesn't even seem like they asked any questions or did any investigation whatsoever. They automatically just hit them with this $12,000 power bill. And it's 1,000 square feet. So I would think that you could even go back and go, well, I mean, as an owner, like I'll give you an example. Do you know what your average power bill is a month?
Because of solar, I'm going to go 140.
Okay. Do you know how much your power bill is a month?
180.
Okay. So mine in the summer is like right at $400, right? So if I saw my power bill on average coming in at like $320, and I know that we haven't made any changes, I would wonder what's going on. I would think something's wrong, even if it benefited me, because it's not the norm. Like we had a power.
I'm going to be like, man, setting it that extra 2 degrees has really made a difference.
Well, we have a water bill issue happening right now because when we went on vacation, one of our flaps failed. And my son didn't know it because it was in the very bottom bathroom under the house, and nobody would have known it. You can't hear anything. But when I contacted them and say, hey, if you can just prove that you had the receipt and you can show us that you've made the repair, we'll make an adjustment. Because they can obviously, in my letter, I'm like, well, you can obviously see for the months beforehand, I was using like $32 worth of water, and now it's $300, and now it's back to $32. Obviously, what I'm telling you is the truth. We didn't fill a pool up. We don't have one. You can't even use that much water. It's like 30,000 gallons of water.
So did you send them a receipt? You buy a flapper, you take a picture of the receipt?
I took a picture of all of it and sent it to them. We're waiting on the response
There you go. Good boy.
In the meantime, I'm building a bomb. I'm joking. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Well, I'm going to pay attention to this and keep this on my radar because, this is kind of a weird situation. We actually might try to contact these people tomorrow and let them say their piece because that is $12,000, and they've cut their power off. So apparently they're not turning their power back on until they pay this bill, which they cannot. And they have a kid with special needs. It's a bull S.
All they have to do is go to the other power company.
Yeah, Jack, exactly.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Take a little break and then get the hell out of here on a Wednesday.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
What's up, Central Florida, Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. A lot of storms over the next few days. High chances, 80% each afternoon and evening. At times, there'll be pockets of flooding across Central Florida. Looking in the tropics, things remain pretty quiet in terms of threats to Florida. I don't really see anything there. There are 4 waves to watch. They all have a low development potential. Still looking at the one in the Gulf for maybe some development heading into early next week.
This report is sponsored by HCA Florida Healthcare.
Sharp stomach pain? Advice is here. Consult a nurse. Answers, advice around the clock. Consult a nurse. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
Save on paint now through September 9th at Tools Ace Hardware. You can get up to 20% off gallons of Benjamin Moore Ben, Regal Select, and Aura interior paint. Plus, Tools Ace Hardware has a huge selection of colors to choose from and friendly, helpful associates to give you expert advice on your next paint project. Tools Ace Hardware has 13 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. That's right, even for paint. It's Tools Ace, your local helpful place.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Hello, I'm Scott Strauss. On 9/11, I was a New York City police officer assigned to finding survivors buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. Those were difficult days, but what kept me going was seeing the way Americans joined together in unity. It didn't matter if you were a Democrat or a Republican or anything else. For 9/11 this year, now a National Day of Service, let's rekindle that spirit of unity by doing good deeds. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Sabrina from the News Junkie, and I'll be performing at the Just Call Mo Comedy Jam on September 5th at the Orlando Funny Bone. The show is a benefit for the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, and tickets are just $20. Get them at mocomedyjam.com.
Mount Dora is where the ultimate barbecue collides with bacon, beer, and smooth bourbon at the Pitmasters and Pourers event. Join us on September 14th from 3 to 8 p.m. at Elizabeth Evans Park. Enjoy great food, along with live music by the Shaylin Band, interactive entertainment, college football viewing, and more. Sponsored by Visit Lake and Yingling. Tickets $12 in advance and $15 at the gate. Visit pitmastersandpourers.com. That's pitmastersandpourers.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
People scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But for us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the influencers, audiences, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
As storm season heats up, your Better Business Bureau reminds you to make a list now of trusted professionals. If you need help after a hurricane, who will you trust? Protect your home and family by choosing licensed, reputable professionals. Turn to BBB.org to find a better business.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the Injury Law Firm of Kaufman Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than Frogger's Grill and Bar. We've got your sports fix covered with Saturday college football, NFL football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays too. Catch all the action on our tons of high-definition TVs while enjoying drink specials available all week long. Don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun.
Need help navigating your will or trust? Visit onefirmforlife.com today for your free consultation.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert. Hey, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate that very much. I am Jim. There's Deb. Jack is here. Running the board like a maestro. Love it.
Yeah. Played a new game, unplugged Jim's mic.
Yeah, that's good.
Jimmy
Probably the
turned
best.
his own off.
Yeah, the listeners are very, very thankful of the new game. They're very thankful, buddy. All right, 407-916-1041. Is tomorrow the triumphant return of something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby!
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
So we will bring back, because tomorrow is the first day of the NFL season.
That's right.
For 2024.
That's right. My Packers playing Brazil.
You guys should get in a football pool or something.
Yeah. I got.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's what Jack's way of saying, you need to send me a Hyundai.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Check your email, because you're down to the last few.
Am I really?
Yeah. Everyone else is back.
Okay.
Anyway, so what we do, because what's important is we make our picks, but we also do it in a bit, and we turn this, our gambling addiction, into a weekly bit called the Frogger's Football Forecast. Now, Frogger's hooks us up with food, and we do our picks, and we will do it every Thursday at 3:45. But wait, there's more, and we like to call that listener benefit. Because you pay attention to that. And then on Tuesdays, we do the Frogger's Football Follow-Up, where we'll put 3 callers on the phone, and they get to predict who they think did the best in the football picks this week. And that person will win a $25 gift card to Frogger's each and every week this season.
That kicks ass, too, because I have to tell you another thing, too. I don't mean, isn't it? Look, I love a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of good people out there do a lot of good things. And I don't know what they did to it, or I don't know where they got it from, but Frogger's has the best blue cheese in Orlando.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, homemade.
Their blue cheese.
Ranch and homemade. Blue cheese is homemade.
Their blue cheese that you get with their wings is exceptional. And what was that one thing they had that was so weird that a wing place, or it's not a wing place per se, but that a wing place would have? Did they have like pierogies that were very good? Didn't we get those last year or something like that? Didn't they have a dish that was like out of bounds?
Yes.
And it wasn't like pierogies or something?
The pierogies they do, which taught me how to step up my pierogies, is because then they saute them with onions and stuff. And so it's like, it's more than a pierogi. I just had so much more flavor.
It's so good. I mean, they do a great job with their food. It's amazing.
And the pizza was great, too.
Look, I think they do a good job with everything. Look, they've been known for wings forever. It's been one of my best favorite wing spots in Orlando for a very long time because their blue cheese is so good.
Yeah.
But that entire menu last year, I was like, man, every week it was more and more impressive. From the sandwiches and salads to flatbreads and pizzas. And, of course, the wings are always on point.
So we're thankful for Michael and the group at Frogger's, because they're going to be feeding us.
Oh, yeah.
And, and we also were excited because football season is back, and we get to do the picks game, and we give away gift cards each and every Tuesday for that. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Froggers.com four area locations. You find the one near you. There's one in Mount Dora by Deb.
Go, Pack, go.
I may be in on Friday. I may make it. I'm not sure, though, Jack. So you guys have to maybe make some plans.
We will put an adult diaper on you and drag your ass here.
All right, 407-916.
I know where you live.
We're done with your Fridays off thing.
Yeah. We'll put you on top of the waste paper basket out in the hall.
You guys think you know how your day is going? Here, take this extra work.
Right, exactly.
So bad. Oh, God. All right, let's do You Heard It Here First.
I think we just did.
It's time for You Heard It Here First
That's you.
on the Jim Colbert Show.
You heard it here first.
Oh. All right, well, we're going to continue to cover the story that we broke during Woke News at 3 o'clock. Actually, this story has been going on since about 9:30 this morning, but in case you haven't been aware, 4 people are dead after an active shooter event at a Georgia high school. Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey made the announcement.
Of those that are deceased, 2 are students and 2 are teachers here at the school.
9 others are in the hospital. It took place today at Appalachia High School, about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta. The suspect is in custody and is a 14-year-old student at the school who will be charged as an adult. He's been identified as 14-year-old Colt Gray. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith said the shooter surrendered to a resource officer inside the school, and he called the shooting an act of, quote, pure evil.
Are they gonna since they're charging him as an adult, will they publish his photograph?
That will be interesting. That I don't know. I don't know how how Georgia does with that, even if they are going to be charged as an adult, since they are under.
Yeah. That's
I
what
guess
I'm
they'd have to wait for formal charges to be filed before his picture would be released.
Well, my thing is they're charging him as an adult. Put his picture out there.
Yeah.
Let's see him. Let's see this fool.
Yeah. Back closer to home, Manatee Sheriff's detectives have closed a cold case murder going back 28 years with the arrest of the victim's former boyfriend. Police in Delaware arrested 72-year-old Stephen Ford last month to face a second-degree murder charge in the killing of 45-year-old Doris Carell of St. Petersburg in late 1996. Randy Warren with the sheriff's office says even now, detectives don't have all of the details.
We don't know if she was killed in St. Petersburg, Pinellas County, or whether she was killed in Manatee County, only that we know that's where her body was found.
Warren says Ford tried to take his own life, actually on 2 separate occasions, the second time by ingesting bleach, and detectives believe his actions after Carell's disappearance show a pattern of guilt.
Yep.
That, along with the fact that when she went missing, he called her daughter instead of police.
Yep.
And then finally, 5 Florida cities are among the best places to retire in the entire country. A new survey from Wallet Hub compared 180 U.S. cities by looking at more than 36 different key metrics like affordability, number of activities, quality of health care. Orlando placed in the #1 spot.
Really?
Yeah, primarily for its lack of taxes and recreation options.
Yeah, tons of it out there, yeah.
Now, meanwhile, Miami, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, those cheap places, and St. Petersburg were all ranked within the top 10. And you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
Thank you so much, Deb. We appreciate that. Who do we have to thank today?
Wait just a moment. Shoo.
Yeah.
We have quite a list.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. We want to thank team lead zoo teacher Jamie Lang and ambassador animal keeper Nathan Jordan and Gordito, the cane toad from the Central Florida Zoo. Animal House podcast has already been posted. Also want to thank Fayez Kara, the restaurant critic for the Orlando Weekly, who joined us for a special edition today. Speaking of special, comedian David Jolly and John Busdecker getting ready for the Mo Comedy Jam coming up.
That's right, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Also want to thank, speaking of comedians, our very own Ross Sauce with Ross Padgett with Good Sauce with Ross and Joel tonight. Don't forget, you might hear a name toward the end of the podcast. And then last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that very much. Jack, question of the day.
Yeah, posted in 2 places. Is it rude to ask a woman if she's going to have more kids?
God. I don't think this would have been considered that a while back, but I think maybe now the
tempo has changed.
Yeah, I'll go 68% say it is.
So in the YouTube chat where they heard the topic and us talking about it, they came in as 59% yes, that it's rude.
All right.
However, over on the Instagram story at Real Radio 1041, it was a little higher and that was 83%.
Oh, wow.
say.
Great. I got the average pretty close, though. Not bad. All right, very good. All right, coming up tomorrow, we'll have Danny Meyering in for Date Night Done Right. Colbert Court tomorrow as well. Your calls, texts, and talkbacks. Plus, we'll do the very first Froggers football forecast as well. That's all coming up tomorrow on the program.
Ooh.
On behalf of Deb and Jack, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Labs, plus Good Sauce with Ross and Joel at 8 o'clock tonight as well.
That's it.
That's it. Let's get the hell out of here.
Right.
You guys have yourself a fantastic Wednesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go put some hump in your day. Bye.
Yeah.